Sorry for being slightly late there. I've just had my fingers in a nice, wet, moist hole. The washing machine stopped working, so I just spent the last half an hour trying to help fix it. Gennady Golvkin versus Murata. Live on everybody's favorite subscription-based boxing channel, DAZN. The channel where they give you free pizza. They offer you free pizza in order to subscribe. I wonder if DAZN are still running that deal. Does anybody know if DAZN are still running that deal? Well, you get a free pizza from Pizza Patron just to subscribe to DAZN for a month. Truly is the channel of value. 12:45 down here in the slightly cold and sunny United Kingdom. Upstairs neighbour's kids is running around like fucking you know what. So if you can hear, that's what it will be. Upstairs neighbour's kids. It is what it is. That's what it will be. Oh, excuse me. Upstairs neighbour's kids. Sorry about that. A bit of echo in the background there. But the good thing today is we have a little bit of boxing that's early. 12:45 in the UK time. Nice bit of boxing there. We're not having to stay up late. Not a 10 o'clocker. Not a 4 a.m. in the morning. It's a midday. Bit of midday boxing. Going to try to avoid the subject of Canelo and Golovkin as much as humanly possible because it's just such a toxic. I mean, with all due respect, I think Canelo Alvarez fans are some of the most toxic I've seen online. No disrespect, but it's unbelievable. I mean, I wouldn't even say they're boxing fans, to be honest. The majority of them. I think a lot of them are, you can't really have, I know I'm going to get hated for this, but, there's some Canelo fans that are really smart, but the majority of them, you can't really have a sensible and logical. I mean, when you're seeing stuff online saying, I saw something in the other line that Canelo Alvarez would have knocked out a prime Roy Jones at 168. Seriously. Canelo Alvarez would have knocked out a prime Roy Jones at 168. You just see stuff like this and you just know, like, you can't have a fucking sensible conversation with these individuals. Do you know what I mean? No disrespect. You can't. You can't. It's like stumbling on. It's like when you're in hospital and you stumble onto the mental health ward on the way to the toilet. You're trying to find the toilets and you just stumble onto the mental health ward. Just hope for the best, don't you? Cross your fingers, hold your breath, and just hope for the best. I did see this, Jason, as well. Did you hear the Canelo fanboy saying he knocks out a prime James? It's just, you can't have a reasonable discussion with these individuals. You can't. It's pointless. It really is pointless. I saw that. Canelo knocks out a prime James Toney. He also knocks out a prime Roy Jones. It's just the mind boggles. But like I said, it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. I mean, we move on. So it is what it is. But listen, this fight, if Golovkin comes through this fight, obviously he'll get to fight the Ginger Mexican. That's what's next. If he comes through this fight, he'll get his third big payday versus the Ginger Mexican, who is actually on a vegan diet now. Have you heard that? He's on a vegan diet. He's actually on a vegan diet now. Canelo Alvarez is on a vegan diet. If you guys think I'm joking, if you guys think I'm joking about, So I'm just telling my wife if she can get me a cup of tea. If you guys think I'm joking about Canelo and it's just mind-blowing. It's just mind-blowing. I'll try and find some tweets later on. But yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, he's right. Yeah, Canelo's on Canelo's on a David Haye diet now. He's on the David Haye diet. So he's gone vegan. Veganism is a very, very weird one, isn't it? Very, very weird one. I've heard that when you first start veganism, I've heard it's quite common to feel absolutely fantastic, yeah, for the first couple of Ryan Murata is coming to the ring, by the way. So for those of you who give a shit, Ryan Murata is currently walking out to the stadium. I have to say, for those of you who love atmosphere, yes, Andrew, we know it's the ring walks. We don't need you to tell us, mate. We've all got the fucking TV on. We can all see what's going on. I was going to say. So yeah, I mean, Murata's coming to the ring, but yeah, if you're into atmosphere, if you're into atmosphere, then because we know the matching fans, they love atmosphere, don't they? They can't enjoy a fight unless it's got 50, unless 80 other thousand people are watching it. That's sort of key to them enjoying the fight. There's got to be 80 other thousand people watching, or the stadium has to be full, right? So if you're into that, then you're into that. Crazy D3 says, I heard Canelo fans say he smokes a prime Roy Jones, Tony and Hopkins. Bro, it's just mind-blowing. It really is bad. It really is bad. I mean, I don't know what else to say, really. I'm going to try and avoid it because, like I said before, there's nothing good that can come out of a conversation like that. There's nothing good that can come out of a conversation like that. I mean, I think, look, I will say this in closing, right? I will say this. When you look at GGG versus Canelo, boxing writers cards, because the other day, do you know what I saw the other day? I saw a couple of people saying that Canelo clearly won both fights with Golovkin. That's what people said. They said Canelo clearly won both fights with Golovkin. I think there was I'll try and find it later on in Google. I think there was an interesting article, and it looked at the scorecards of something like 20 or 30 people who watched both fights ringside. And it was something ridiculous, like almost like 90% of ringside observers all had Golovkin winning like both fights. The only people that didn't have Golovkin winning both fights are the judges. Like, I'll try and find it in a bit. I've shown it previously on this channel before. I've shown it previously on this channel before. But yeah, it's unbelievable. I can't remember who did it, but there was an article on it. Literally everybody, 90% of people ringside thought Golovkin won at least one of those fights. But you're hearing this week, yeah? Oh, I saw someone say Golovkin won clearly the first one. I mean, it's embarrassing. Canelo won clearly the first one. It is what it is. Yeah, Eddie had Canelo. Yeah, did he in the first one? Jesus Christ. It is what it is. I need to make a meme out of Eddie Hearn, actually. You know what I need to make a meme out of? I need to make a meme out of Eddie Hearn. So I've got a few memes to make. So we'll see. We're just waiting for the fight. We're waiting for Gennady Golvkin to come to the ring. He's looking in absolutely tremendous shape, I must say, you know. Golovkin is looking in absolutely tremendous shape. Cough, cough, cough. Jesus Christ. I mean, he looks in tremendous shape. So I'm hoping Golovkin's going to come out and look explosive. Look, Golovkin. Okay, my bad. I've never seen, in my opinion, a lot of people are going to hate me for saying this, right? I have never seen Golovkin lose a fight. I've seen him lose a fight, but I've never seen him in a fight where I thought he's lost that fight. Never. I didn't really see the Derevyanchenko fight, though. I heard that was quite close. But I've never seen Golovkin in a fight, and after 12 rounds think he's lost that fight, including both Canelo fights. But we'll have to wait and see. Here's Golovkin in the ring. Sorry, I'm just trying to get you guys a... here we go. A little screenshot. Sorry about that. My bad. Trying to get you a little picture of Golovkin in the meantime. Sorry, it's going to be a bit of a slow start for me today because I'm literally fucking, and I should be at boxing, to be honest. Actually, I actually should be at boxing gym, but my right Achilles is screwed at the minute, so I'm having to rehab on this right Achilles. Like, I'm literally having to it's going to take me a couple of weeks, I think, to get this Achilles back. My right Achilles went sore when I went to boxing, and it's never been the same since. I've run it a couple of times, but it's never been the same since. If anybody's interested, that's Gennady Golvkin coming to the ring. So that's Gennady Golvkin. He's currently walking out to the ring as we speak. He's in the ring. So this is going to be on very, very shortly. Okay, let's go. BLTV used that quote from Eddie in their Canelo video. He will always be remembered as a drugs cheat. I still haven't seen anybody ask Eddie Hearn. I still haven't seen one person ask Eddie Hearn. I haven't seen one person ask Eddie Hearn. So we'll have to wait and see. Also, what we'll be talking about in the meantime as well, there's Gennady Golvkin on the scales. Both Golovkin and Murata are in the ring. So this fight will be on imminently. Jonathan Banks in the corner with GG. I'm hoping GGG wins this convincingly, you know. I really feel he's been hard done by by the judges in some of the biggest fights in his career, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll also be talking about Lord AJ. We'll talk about that as well later on. We're doing AJ Watch. Apparently, this fight's on in Saudi Arabia on June the 23rd, and it will be announced in the next couple of weeks if anybody's interested. So, you know, to be honest, I don't know how you feel about that. They're just doing the national anthems in the ring. So they're just the national. I would personally like it, yeah, if when AJ got beat. Oh, sorry, Andrew's right. July 23rd, not June. My bad, Andrew. I would like to see it if AJ went back to the scene of the crime. Does that make sense? I could be wrong, but I like that, you know? Like, go back to Tottenham and right that wrong. Or stay in the UK and right that wrong. Do you know what I mean? But it is what it is. Why do you guys think they keep doing these AJ rematches in Saudi? Do you think it's a cash out? Some people keep accusing Matchroom of trying to cash out on AJ. If you notice that, his rematches keep happening in fucking in the desert. I like to see him right that wrong where the wrong happened. Do you know what I mean? You know, got beat by Ruiz, go back to America and knock Ruiz out. Do you know what I mean? You got beat by Usyk in the UK, go back to the UK, right that wrong. But instead, it's happening in Saudi. It is what it is. It is what it is. They're targeting Khan versus Marku on the undercard. Jesus fucking Christ. Ben Shalom is an absolute clown, but it is what it is. I'll talk about Ben Shalom another time. I mean, the guy is unbelievable. I mean, I'm not going to say anything. I was going to say some stuff there that I shouldn't have said there, but I'm not going to say too much about Ben Shalom. Let me just go to, where's Simon? Simon sent me that fucking email, didn't he? Hold on. Simon sent me that email. You get cleaned out. So I'm looking at some stupid emails from people. Hold on. You get cleaned out, man. Hold on a minute. Didn't Simon send me a fucking email? You absolute clown. You get murdered. What are you talking about? Sorry about that. Just looking at some emails. Andrew thinks AJ gets stopped. I think he'll go the distance again, but we'll see. But yeah, AJ don't want to go back to the scene of the crime. They're going to have it in Saudi Arabia. Also, he hasn't fought in a year. Well, we are covering the Golovkin fight live, by the way. We're just waiting. National anthems are done. This fight's nearly on. So there you go. We can show you this as well in the meantime. There's the official weigh-in. There's the official meet and greet. This fight will be on imminently. Yeah, so we're just chilling today. Not really doing too much. So we can talk about all kinds of things. So we'll talk about the Golovkin fight. Golovkin fight will be happening in a minute. Talk about Canelo a little bit. We'll try and avoid talking about Canelo because, you know, unfortunately, you know what happens. You know what happens when we talk about Canelo Alvarez. Talk about the latest goings on with AJ. We'll do AJ watch. And then I've heard that Dillian White. I don't know. I haven't seen Dillian. I haven't seen much of Murata, to be honest. I might have seen one or two of his fights. I wouldn't know. Is Murata a genuine challenge? I know nothing about him. I'm out of touch, to be fair. Do you know what? Should I tell you the truth before this fight starts? Honest to God, yeah? Honest to God. I don't mean to offend anybody when I say this, yeah? But you can sit down and watch. Okay. If you look up a lot of boxing coaches, right, who are in the gym, certainly boxing coaches that I meet, yeah? They don't stay up till 4 a.m. watching loads of fights. They don't. Because you don't have to watch loads of fights really to understand boxing. The quickest way to actually understand how boxing works is to actually box. It's to go to your local gym and just start sparring. If it's light sparring, medium sparring, hard sparring, whatever sparring. If you want to understand boxing, it's very simple. In my opinion, the quickest way to actually understand boxing is to just glove up and go to your gym. I think Joe, shout out to Joe. Joe's not here at the minute, but Joe went to the gym last week. He started boxing last week. He went to the gym. That's the quickest way to understand boxing. That's why if you look at a lot of coaches, they're not like staying up till like 4 or 5 in the morning watching. They're not like super fight nerds really, because there's only so much you can get from watching a fight live. You know, the real sort of knowledge comes from putting the gloves on, doing it, or being in the gym with fighters and seeing sparring up person. Because boxing up close, and when you've got two guys in the ring and you're sitting there watching it in real time, it looks very different to watching it on fucking TV with a million and one fucking camera angles. So if you sit on the corner while your mate's sparring and you're giving him advice, or if you're getting there for yourself, that kind of thing, you know, you learn about boxing a lot quicker doing that kind of thing. So you need to really get in the habit of actually doing it and understanding it. And the reason why I mentioned that is that's the reason why, yeah, I'm not sort of a guy that sort of religiously tries to. I used to be many years ago, before I actually started boxing, ironically, used to be a guy that used to think, oh, you need to watch all these fights, watch. But actually, to be honest, what can happen is you can gauge a fighter and pick things up very quickly. Toby Blair says Ben Davison stays up and watches fights. He does. Some coaches do. I think Ben Davison's the exception, though. I don't think many British coaches do that. To be honest, I don't think many British coaches do that. I think if you to go to a lot of British coaches and ask them about certain fighters, they've never seen them before. Honest to God, they've never seen them before. But they spend all day in the gym actually doing stuff like padding fighters, training fighters. Right, round one, we are off. Let's see if Golovkin's still got one of the best jabs in boxing. He's still taking the center of the ring, and straight away Golovkin lands the jab straight through the middle against Murata. I mean, he's landed 2 jabs on Murata already and snapped his head back twice. I'm just trying to see here. I mean, the Golovkin jab is step one. If you can't get past the Golovkin jab, you've already lost the fight. And Golovkin's landed 3 jabs there already through the middle of Murata. Murata's got no sense of distance early on, by the way. He's leaving himself right in range of the jab. He's trying to make a fight with Golovkin. He tried to step into Golovkin and throw the right hand over the top, but he's right in jabbing range. He tried to throw a left hook to the body. It was really wide. Tries to follow up with a jab right hand. He's trying to be the aggressor against Golovkin, but we'll see. A couple of right hands. Golovkin's covered them off nicely. Golovkin throws that patented lead left hook. Murata's thrown a left hook to the body that hit Golovkin in the groin or the groin guard. That was a good jab from Murata, but Murata's trying to push it and trying to. We can see here he's not going to try and outbox Golovkin. He's going to try and push. He tries to double jab and throw the right hand there, and he's actually pushed Golovkin out of the center of the ring actually earlier on, which is quite interesting. He's pushed Golovkin out of the center of the ring. And he's got Golovkin on the back foot. But the key here is Golovkin just working behind that jab and landing that jab. And the jab is stiff. You know one thing I like about Golovkin? You talk about punch placement, right? And that was a good right hand from Murata. Golovkin needs to just pick that left hand up. Good jab. Golovkin's jab's running fine. But Murata's caught him there with a little right hand over that low left hand there. Just want to see what happens. He's pushing Golovkin back and he's throwing that jab right hand over the top. You can see Golovkin's in the corner right now. So Golovkin's not on the front foot. He's pushing Golovkin out, and you can see there again. Murata went for the jab, right hand, and Golovkin just pulled back. So it's interesting. Murata's laughing at Golovkin early on, but Golovkin there, jab and right uppercut, both landing. Golovkin went jab, uppercut, jab. 2 out of 3 landed. The interesting thing, though, is Murata is actually pushing Golovkin now out of the center of the ring. Golovkin's on the back foot behind the jab. Very, very interesting. We'll see. The Japanese fighters have a reputation for being incredibly tough individuals. But at the minute, like I said before, I think that Murata early on, there's not a lot of shape behind his shots. A lot of his shots are winging in. He throws a right hand. He was way out of distance. Golovkin snapping his hand back with the jab at will. There's only so many of those you can take, really. That was a lovely. You see Golovkin just throwing that right uppercut or that left. What was just trying to see what there was? Right uppercut off the jab. Let me see. Hold on. Golovkin landed an uppercut off that jab. But yeah, Murata's leaving himself in range. Golovkin's not having to do any work at the minute to find him because Murata's trying to push the fight and he's trying to push Golovkin to the ropes. Obviously, there's no head movement. The guard isn't tight enough. And to be honest, Golovkin is very, very good, I was going to say, at punch placement. Even if you come to Golovkin with a tight guard, he's very, very good, yeah, at whipping the shots in around the guard. He's good at whipping the shots in. You know what I mean, don't you? He'll whip the shots in around the guard. So you try and come up with the high guard. Whips the shot around the guard, around the ear. You've seen him when he loops the shot upwards and brings the shot down onto the forehead like a kind of an axe shot, a chopping shot. You've seen that one, haven't you? Where he sort of whips the overhand right down around the top of the forehead. Golovkin is one of the best fighters I've ever seen here at finding gaps, at picking gaps around fighters. Even guys who are coming up with a high guard, trying to cover as much body and head as possible. And he still finds ways, yeah, to find clever angles and maneuver and throw kind of different variation of shots. We talk about that a lot on this channel. Fighters don't show a lot of shot variation. Like Anthony Joshua, jab, right hand. But if you look at Golovkin, he's got lots of different variations of right hand. Lots of different variations of right hand. He throws right uppercuts. He throws an overhand. He throws an overhand right, which comes down around the forehead. He whips shots around the guards. He throws all kinds of different shots. Very, very clever fighter. Very, very clever fighter. The only thing I would say about Golovkin is he's getting pushed back a lot. But it was clearly, for me, it was a Golovkin first round. There you go. There's the right uppercut from Golovkin straight away in that first round. And he really, he's landed 2 big jabs there that have just knocked him right out of the center of the ring. The jab is stiff. Very stiff from Golovkin. Very stiff. Bear with me on this one. Just trying to see what else are going on here. That was a good right hand over the top. Murata's had a little bit of success with the right hand over the top there. Golovkin just maybe dropping that left hand a little bit. You can see there. Yeah, he's going. His primary shots I can see from Murata is to close the distance and throw right hands over the top of Golovkin's low left, and he's also trying to invest in left hooks to the body. Those are the two shots that I see him landing quite a bit. Golovkin there through his own left hook. Don't know if Murata caught that. Good jab there from Golovkin. So Murata's pushing the fight. He's throwing a lot of right hands. He throws a right hand to the body, which landed clean on Golovkin. That's another right hand there from Murata. Murata's starting to have a big success, you know. You know what I've noticed about Golovkin in this fight that I haven't seen before? You know, Murata's not being pushed out of the center. You know when Golovkin starts landing jabs and heavy shots, right? When Golovkin starts landing jabs and heavy shots, fighters start getting spooked and they start moving out of the center of the ring. Murata hasn't taken a step backwards so far, really. I mean, Golovkin's just hit him with a couple of punches there. Jab, a right hand, a left hook. Golovkin looks very gassy. I think this fight's going to get very, very interesting, you know. Because I think Golovkin's beginning to look a little bit gassy. But the key for me is the jab from Golovkin is still outstanding, but he can't keep Murata off him at the minute. Murata's forcing the pace. Golovkin's on the back foot. Golovkin hasn't really been able to hold the center of the ring. Oh, that was a good right uppercut from Murata there, up on the inside. So Murata closed in up on the inside. He faded the jab and he brought the right uppercut and he lifted Golovkin's head right up. This is definitely Murata around. You know, Murata's not coming in behind the jab, though. He needs to come in behind the jab. He's getting right into range on Golovkin. He's pushing Golovkin back there and he's using a nice bit of head control. So what's happening here is Murata's closing right in on Golovkin and he's putting the inside of the palm on the top of Golovkin's head to control Golovkin's head, and then he's working shots off it. But the key is Murata's getting right into punching range, and he looks comfortable, Murata. He's not having to work to get into punching range. Golovkin's jab is beginning to stop. Murata's closing right into punching range, and he's beginning to stalk Golovkin. He's beginning to stalk him. Golovkin looks gassed. It's a good jab from Golovkin. Double jab, right hand there from Murata. Golovkin needs to cover those right hands. This is not looking good. I don't know why. I've got a bad feeling about this. Let me tell you something about Murata. He's landed. That was a good right uppercut. Both of them are suckers for the uppercut at the minute. Golovkin looks pretty tired. Let's see. Both of them are suckers for the uppercut at the minute. I was going to say for Murata, the right uppercut is right there for Ryan Murata if he wants it. The right uppercut is right there, but both of them are squaring up on the inside and the heads are coming down the center. And they're both landing right uppercuts, both of them. That was a good round for Ryan Murata. I would say Golovkin's jab is keeping him in this. That was a great little right hand to the body there from Murata. Watch out from that right uppercut from Murata as well. Just trying to see, there's that right hand. Golovkin can't see that right hand over the top. He's been hit with a fair few of those. And again, another short right hand on the inside caught Golovkin flush on the chin. You guys have got it 1-1. If you're a Golovkin fan, you need to be a bit concerned there. Because the Golovkin of old, the Golovkin of old didn't give up the center of the ring like that. And he seems to have lost a bit of his, you know how quick Golovkin was to close down fighters? You know, that foot speed he had as well. You know, he had the punch power, but he also had the excellent foot speed at taking the center, you know, building pressure on fighters, cutting fighters off. That kind of seems to have gone. I'll have a look at it. Golovkin starts with a big jab and he tries to bring a right hand over the guard. His punches do not have the same pop that they used to. There's no question about that. There's no way. Golovkin on the inside there, he threw a jab, right hand, uppercut. And then his 2 out of the 3 shots landed and Murata stood in the center of the ring and just took those shots. In the old days, that would never have happened with Golovkin. Look at that. Murata went for a right uppercut to the body, left hook to the body, and both landed. Or the left hook landed. Right hand to the body from Murata. Right hand upstairs from Murata. Right hand upstairs from Murata. Golovkin's feeling it. There's something wrong with Golovkin. The body's on for it. Golovkin can't block this right hand. Oh my God. Right uppercut to the body from Murata. Golovkin's in big trouble in this fight. He's in big trouble. Left hook from Murata. I'm trying to see this right hand. Golovkin's he's just getting stalked. Good double jab from Golovkin. The jab is still working fine. I'm just trying to see. Murata's looking every time for that right hand over the top. Overhand right from Murata as well. So Murata's looking for the right hand straight. He's looking for the overhand right around Golovkin's guard. He's throwing the right hand to the body. He's throwing right uppercuts. There he went for the overhand right again. Golovkin's definitely got a problem walking into right hands in this fight. Can you see that? There again. Right hand over the top, right uppercut from Murata. Golovkin cannot get away from that right hand. It's the overhand. Every single time is coming over that left hand from Golovkin. That was a lovely little jab, a right uppercut from Golovkin, but Murata just walks straight through it and throws a left hook to the body. And Murata's pushing Golovkin back. Did you see that there in the clinch? 1 minute 10 to go in round 3. Murata shoved off Golovkin. Golovkin's trying to throw overhand rights. But the key for Golovkin is, he needs to start moving away from that right hand or picking up his left hand here. Because again, it's the right hand is the cause of his problems. Murata's again nailed him with the overhand right over the low left. And that's what Murata's doing. Murata's walking him into right hand after right hand. And there you go. And there's the left hook coming off the right hand. Another right hand to the body, left hook. Right uppercut to the body. Golovkin's almost slowed to it. His legs have stopped. Golovkin's legs have stopped. He's going to have to sit and fight this out in the trenches. He's got no legs. He's got no legs. Left hook, right hook from Murata. Golovkin's got absolutely no legs. Now, his legs are gone. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This is sad to watch. You know, if Murata starts bringing left uppercuts to Gennady Golvkin, this fight is going to get very interesting. There you go. Left uppercut up the middle there from Murata lands. But everything's coming off this right hand. Everything is coming. There you go. Everything's coming off the right hand from Murata. If you look at Murata's attacks, he's not even jabbing in. Golovkin looks shagged. He's just getting beaten up. Golovkin, right, let me tell you about Murata. Murata isn't even jabbing to start off his attacks. He's walking Golovkin down and he's leading everything off with the right hand. So it'll be right hand upstairs, left uppercut to the body. Yeah? Right hand upstairs, left hook to the head. Right uppercut, left hook to the body. Everything and all these shots are starting off with lead right hands and overhand rights. If Golovkin's got to find a way to stop that overhand right, he's leading off with the right every single time. If there's any way Golovkin can and this is what I'm saying about these type of fighters, right? With Golovkin. No disrespect, but head movement is something that we talk about a lot on this channel. I think head movement sometimes a little bit overrated, but Golovkin's got to find a way now of getting away from these right hands, right? He doesn't have his legs. We can clearly see that in his fight. So he doesn't have the ability to just push off and skip out of distance because he's got absolutely no legs. This is when really you need to start using head movement to start avoiding these right hands. That makes sense. You need to start looking at rolling underneath these right hands from Murata because Golovkin's very upright and he has no legs. So his last style of defense, is going to have to be his head movement. He's got no legs. Golovkin has no feet. His legs are gone. He can't use his legs to bring himself in and out of range. He's too heavy-legged, right? So he's going to have to start weaving at the midriff now, if he can. Because it's that right hand. He's got to start trying to roll it to the outside and get out of there. Can't just stand upright. He can't stand upright. And this is a tip for anybody who likes to box. When you're dealing with fighters like Murata, and Murata's just landing left, right hands at will here. Murata's walking into him and landing right hands at will. Let me give you a little tip. It's easier said than done, right? But you see when you're dealing with a fighter like Murata, yeah? Who's kind of building pressure and he's landing big, heavy right hands and he's leading off with the right hand. If you slip, roll and duck the right hand to the outside, it takes that fighter off balance. Even if you block and catch that right hand, you block it, but they're still going to throw a left hook after it. Does that make sense? They're still going to land the two after it. So it's important that you take them up. Golovkin's getting battered, by the way. There's no way. I'm not sure he's going to be. I don't think at the moment, I'll be amazed if he sees this through. But we'll carry on in a minute. But there's a little tip if you're boxing, yeah? When you're dealing with a fighter like Murata, it's important, yeah, to try and weave and get underneath that left hook. Because when fighters like that miss the right hand upstairs, they miss the overhand right and they hit fresh air, they get taken off balance and then they can't come back with the second and the third shot. Does that make sense what I just said, yes or no? Let me know. If you stand there and just take the shot on the gloves, right? He still hits target. He's still in position to land his second and his third. If you roll underneath that right hand, make him hit fresh air, he goes off balance. It's harder for him to follow up. And Golovkin doesn't have that in his arsenal. Golovkin's so upright. So even when Murata is having that right hand blocked, he's still in position to then lead off with that left hook to the body. Right, he's in big trouble. Sorry about the lack of commentary. Golovkin's in huge trouble. Let's have a look. So the two of them, Murata's in punching range. He's right on Golovkin's chest. The two of them are both squared up. The two of them are both squared up. There's no angles going on. This is just a straight out war now between the two of them. Murata is varying the right hand very, very well. Murata, and that's also that about Murata. The variation on the right hand's beautiful. Straight right through the middle of the guard. Overhand right around the guard. Right hand to the body. Right uppercut. I will give Murata credit, and that's good for Murata. Murata's starting to jab his way in. I mean, if Murata starts jabbing, this fight is over. Good right hand over the top from Golovkin. That was a good right hand around the guard from Golovkin. Looked like Murata felt that one. My word. Murata tries to come back with a jab right hand and Golovkin blocked it from a change. But you can see with Golovkin when that right hand comes. Can you see, if you look at Golovkin's head position when that right hand comes from Golovkin, yeah? He almost sits down and brings his gloves up. But he never takes his head off the line. He can't get his head off the line of that right hand. If you look at Golovkin when that right hand comes, yeah? Just watch Golovkin when the straight right hand comes and how he blocks it. You know, he doesn't take his head off the line. He doesn't try and slip the shot to the outside or roll the shot. He just braces for it. You know, he just puts a dip in his knees. He almost tries to sit down, tuck his chin in, and bring his gloves up a bit. But it's not enough. It's not enough. Murata's clever. He's whipping it around them gloves. I don't know if I'm making sense with what I'm saying there at all, but we'll see. I'm probably not making any sense what I'm saying there at all, but it's not very good at the minute at all. It's really bad from Golovkin's perspective. I would say he's 2-1 down at the minute. The jab's gone. You know, Murata's taken away Golovkin's jab because Murata's smothering him. So that's what I'm saying. Murata's taken away his jab completely because Murata's smothering all his work. Golovkin's starting fast again behind the jab. Golovkin starts fast, but once Murata starts closing the distance and letting the right hand go, as Murata there starts with a right uppercut, which just missed him. Good start from Golovkin, this. I appreciate that, Yoking, yeah. But you see, like I said before, if someone's throwing the right hand at you, yeah, sometimes roll it, make them hit fresh air. Then they leave themselves off balance and it dissuades them from throwing it. Golovkin, if you look at it, I'm just trying to have a look here. When that right hand's coming, no waist movement, no body movement. He's just bringing his gloves up. And like I said, Murata's clever. He's whipping the shots around the gloves anyway. That's a lovely little right hand to the body from Murata. Good variation on the right hand from Murata. I'm just trying to see what's going on here. Good variation on the right hand from Murata. Good variation. Good jab, right hand from Murata, right down the center. Good jab from Murata. Good jab from Golovkin. So I'm just trying to see what's going on. Sorry about that. We are 1 minute 45 left in round 5. As it stands, there ain't going to be no Canelo and Golovkin. That was a right hand from Murata out of the clinch that just missed Golovkin's chin by a whisker. Big right uppercut from Golovkin. I think Murata's hurt there. Oh, that's interesting. He's definitely stunned. Oh my gosh. What a bit of work from Golovkin. Unbelievable. Jesus, Golovkin there with uppercuts and left hooks around the guard. That was big shots there. Definitely had an effect on Murata. Golovkin with the right uppercut into left hook, into jab, into right uppercut, into left hook, or something like that. But it was a series of right uppercuts and left hooks from Golovkin that were all landing flush. Murata responds with a right hand to the body. Murata also responds with a right uppercut down the center. Golovkin keeps letting his head drop down the center line, and Murata's throwing them right uppercuts. This is a straight up close quarters war now between the two of them. Murata there up on the inside looking to throw that right uppercut yet again. You can see up on the inside. Let me see what shot Golovkin's looking for. Looks like Golovkin's looking for left hook to the body or right uppercut, left hook. That's what he seems to be looking. Left hook around the guard from Golovkin up on the inside. You can see him peeking around the guard when he's up close. Yeah, when they're up close, Golovkin wants to be throwing left hook to the body. There he goes. Golovkin doubled up, left hook to the body, and then a left uppercut to the head. You can see Golovkin peeking around where he wants to go to the target. Golovkin's starting to push him back a little bit now. Golovkin using it. Very clever from Golovkin. A little bit of use of the head, but Golovkin's starting to push him back. Let me tell you, Golovkin is a hell of a fighter because this looked like it was only going one way. Golovkin's working towards turning this fight around at the minute. It's that left hook to upstairs that's just really doing some damage from around the guard from Golovkin. But Murata is looking really, really ragged now. And Golovkin seems to have something in his legs. Good double jab, right hand from Golovkin, all landing flush. Right hand around the guard. That was a big round from Golovkin. You know, Golovkin is one hell of a fighter, you know, because to me, honestly, they looked like that fight was, it looked like this. Honestly, I was thinking we were going to see Gennady Golvkin get stopped for the first time. Just looking up close there. Let's have a look at Golovkin. There you go. Do you see the replay of Golovkin versus that right hand? Do you see the replay of that on the zone? Golovkin versus that right hand. There's no movement on that right hand at all. He doesn't try to slip it. He doesn't try to angle off. He doesn't try to get off the guard. There you go. You can see Murata throwing that right uppercut. I mean, defensively, Golovkin does look atrocious. I have to be honest with you. Defensively, I mean, maybe to a degree his offense was always his defense. And maybe this is part of the new Gennady Golvkin, you know? Offense, maybe to a degree, maybe his offense was always his defense. And now that his offense is nowhere near what it was, he hasn't got a defense to back it up. That's what it looks like, because you see that right hand from Murata. I mean, Murata just breaking through his guard and around the guard. And Golovkin not even doing the basics. You've been hit with the same shot 150 times. I'm trying to see. Round 6 was already started. I'm just trying to see how Golovkin's trying to counter the right hand of Murata. It was a lovely counter jab from Golovkin. As Murata tried to throw the right hand, Golovkin timed him in the middle of the right hand with a beautiful, beautiful jab. I'm just trying to see how Golovkin's trying to avoid this right hand. That's the key. If he can cover off, block, slip, shut down or ride this right hand, he can win this fight. That's the shot. Murata's looking very tired. Golovkin knocked his gum shield out with a massive overhand right. And then a right uppercut. Golovkin around the guard just smashed his gum shield out. Big shot. This is what I say about Golovkin. Golovkin's punch placement is unbelievable. You see that? Murata was in a high guard and Golovkin whipped a right hook right around the guard. Spanish chin around, knocked his gum shield out. Golovkin started to turn his fight around. Lovely double jab from Golovkin. Right hand, left uppercuts. And he tries to throw the overhand left that time, round onto the forehead. Doubles up on the left hooks, up on the inside, looking for angles. This is the old Golovkin now. And the reason why it's the old Golovkin is because his offense is starting to have an impact now. Now we're starting to see the old Golovkin, because this is it now. Now his offense is starting to have an impact. He's getting his defense from his offense. Can you see now? Murata's getting busted up in there. And you can see now the output from Murata is now gone down completely. The right hands don't have the pop on them. He's lost his shape on his right hands. If you look at those right hands that Murata just threw, he's lost all of his shape on them right hands. He's pushing them right hands. You see Murata? Golovkin walks him straight into a jab. And now Golovkin's starting to avoid the shots. Can you see now? Now Golovkin's starting to avoid the shots. Now Golovkin's starting to avoid the shots. That was a lovely jab, overhand right around the guard. But now we can see the secrets of Gennady Golovkin's defense. His offense is his defense. That's what's happened here. Murata's output's been shut down. The right hand doesn't have any zip in it, yeah? The right hand doesn't have any zip in it because he's been battered. He's battered Murata these last 2 rounds. The right hand's lost zip in it. The punch output's gone down. And now Golovkin's able to dictate the pace and find angles a lot better. And he's even able now to start seeing the shots because Murata's not throwing with the same speed, the same zip. And look who's in the center of the ring dominating. It's Golovkin's now controlling the center of the ring. It's Golovkin is the one now starting to hustle. So there we can see the key. There we can see the key to any kind of fight with Canelo Alvarez. I mean, I would go with Canelo Alvarez by stoppage in any fight with Golovkin. Because you can see there. He's starting to look like the old Golovkin. Now that he's put a dent in Murata, even his legs are coming back. What a right uppercut from Golovkin. Golovkin there moved laterally to avoid some shots from Murata and then threw a lead right uppercut and walked him right onto it. Even Golovkin's legs are coming back now. Golovkin's now moving around in his legs. His legs have come back. Jesus Christ. Right, I've given those last 2 rounds to Golovkin. Murata looks in big trouble, in my opinion. I mean, because he's taken some real punishment in there. Just looking at the replay on the zone, here it is that right hand. And look at Golovkin. Do you see Murata in the high guard? And do you see Golovkin loops around that right hand? And he loops it right behind the glove to the ear-jaw area. And he turns around. When it comes to... we'll talk about it afterwards, right? Golovkin, there is so much that you can learn about Golovkin offensively in terms of punch placement, feinting, setting up shots. If you look at Golovkin, like I said before, when he fights, you see how he sets up shots. Jab, right hand, right uppercut. Sorry, jab, right hand, uppercut, them kind of shots. You know what I mean? He sets them up very, very... He doesn't just put power into every shot. He varies the power and he varies the speeds on different shots, Golovkin. Varies the speed on different shots. The way his shot selection and shot placement is still elite level. He's one of the best I've ever seen at knowing how to set up a shot, find a shot, and then place the shot. He's one of the best fighters I've ever seen in my life. You can learn a lot from watching Gennady Golvkin. It's round 7. Murata's on the front foot. Murata walked into a massive jab right hand. And then Golovkin did something. Golovkin landed the jab right hand, and then he used lateral movement, and he spun himself back to the center. Golovkin's feet average. Oh my gosh, do you see that? Murata threw the right hand, and Golovkin just backed off and slipped it. Wow. Golovkin's even slipping right hands. Someone's giving Golovkin juvie juice in the corner. I think Panama Lewis must have been in GGG's corner. Unbelievable. He's now starting to slip off that right hand. Let's see. Let's see how he avoids it. Lovely left hook there from Golovkin. Murata's falling into range, but the right hand doesn't have the zip. But Golovkin's starting to neutralize that right hand. Let's see how he's doing it. Because, that was a big left hook there from Golovkin. That was a big left hook around the guard. A big right uppercut from Golovkin around the guard. Big left hook, right uppercut around the guard from Golovkin. Big shots from Golovkin. And Murata's getting pushed back. Right hand from Golovkin. Yeah, Golovkin's pushing him right back. This fight's changed. This fight's over. Left hook from Golovkin. This fight's going to be over in a round. Another big left hook from Golovkin. Another big left hook from Golovkin. Punch placement absolutely superb. Murata's fighting on fumes in a minute. The punch placement from Gennady Golvkin is, I have to say, this is second to none from Golovkin. If you look at how he's whipping these left hooks behind the glove to the ear, the jaw area, pushing him back. Look at how he's setting the shot. Look how he set up that shot there against Murata. He went for the jab, and then I think he feinted the left hook, and then instead of the left hook, he then whipped the right hook around the guard. Because he's been hitting Murata with left hook after left hook after left hook. On that sequence, I think he feinted the left hook, came back around with a right hook, and he's whipping these right behind the gloves. That's the key. He's whipping these right behind the gloves. Murata's against the ropes. That was a huge left hook from Golovkin. Oh, he's nearly out on his feet. That was a huge left hook from Golovkin. The punch placement is unbelievable. You know what I'd see from Golovkin now? The body work. So if Golovkin wants it, there's definitely some hooks there to the body. There's a left hook to the body there from Golovkin. Because Golovkin's been landing left hook to the head after left hook to the head. So that the right hand there or the left hook to the body would be a nice little change of pace there. But this fight's going to be over in a round or two. Look at that little left hook, right uppercut from Golovkin. And when we talk about setting up shots, the left hook was a bait shot. There was no power. There was no leverage in the left hook. The left hook was a disguise. Brings the right uppercut through the middle. His punch selection is unbelievable. But there's no way he beats Canelo Alvarez in a million years. That's a cash-out fight. Canelo will get rid of him. Canelo Alvarez will stop him. That I will tell you. But the punch placement is second to none from Golovkin. Oh, Murata's in big, big trouble. I'm looking at Murata in the corner. Murata, they're going to pull him out. Did you see Murata going back to the corner? He didn't actually know where he was. I don't know if he's got problems seeing out of his eye or something. But they're going to pull Murata out in a round or two. Did anybody see Murata go back to that corner? His nose might be broken, but did anybody see Murata just on the ropes before he found his way back to the corner? He was sort of hanging around on the ropes just before he found his way back into the corner. Looked like he was having problems seeing where he was or seeing... I don't know what's going on. He's been hit with a lot of heavy artillery. A lot of heavy artillery. I've got the sound down, so I can't hear what Jonathan Banks is saying in the corner. I think Golovkin needs to start looking at left hooks to the body. I'm looking at the replay from the zone. Look at the placement. You see the bait? Look at this from Golovkin. There you go. Do you see that on the replay? He throws the bait left uppercut. He uses the right hand as more bait, and then he throws the fucking left hook right around the guard. If you just look at the way he sets up his shots, Golovkin. He never throws the big shot first, Golovkin. He always sets it up behind 2 or 3 shots. So he always has a little probe. Probing left, probing right, big left hook. Does that make sense? He probes. That's the right word to use. Watch the way Golovkin sets up the shots. That was a lot. It doubles up on that left hook around the guard. That's been his key shot to get him out of that fight, that left hook. I wonder if that's why Murata doesn't want to throw the right hand. You know, Murata's given up on that right hand. Murata's hardly throwing that right hand so much. And I wonder if it's because of the left hook from Golovkin. Because you can sometimes do that. I don't know if that's what's going on, but you can, as I say that, Murata's throwing right hands. But Golovkin's not able to use his feet to escape there. And that's because, like I said before, Murata's lost his zip, he's lost his shape. So these right hands, he walks himself onto a battering ram jab. Oh my God. That jab from Golovkin nearly knocked Murata off his feet. And Murata's against the ropes here. Oh, massive left hook from Murata. Golovkin needs to start throwing the overhand rights. Golovkin there, that was very clever from Golovkin. Golovkin there changed angle like he was going to throw the right hand in and still threw the left hook. This fight's going to be called off very soon. Right hook to the body, left hook upstairs, right uppercut there, Golovkin. The right uppercut is there for Gennady Golvkin. A big overhand right, spun him around. Another big overhand right. That was beautiful. Golovkin went for a double jab. He feinted the right hand, came back across with the left hook. Just watch this. Anybody who wants to actually learn about boxing, yeah, and learn about how to place shots and how to feint and set up shots, this is what we mean about setting up shots there. Golovkin there hit him with left hook after left hook. Then he started hitting him with the overhand right. So what does he do? He goes double jab, he feints the overhand right, and then he comes back across with the left hook. That's why it's not just the power. It's the way he places, and it's the way that you don't know what shot's coming back next. And that's what, and that was always Golovkin's speciality in his prime. Was making you not sure. You didn't know what shot was coming next because he spent all round hitting you with double left hooks, and then he would set you up for the overhand right. There, he was setting Murata up for the overhand right, so then he feinted the right hand and came back across him with the left hook. Murata's against the ropes. Golovkin there, you see him with the pity-patter shots, trying to set him up. Watch Golovkin now with the probing shots. When Golovkin gets on the inside, watch how he never smothers his work. Just watch. Can you see the distance he maintains? Can you see the distance? You never see Golovkin smother his own work. So whenever you watch Golovkin have a guy on the ropes, watch that. The guy's always right. The Golovkin's always so he can punch through the target. But he doesn't smother his own work. There's Golovkin there, feinted. That was beautiful. Golovkin there, jabbed, and then he feinted the left hook, left uppercut, and then the real shot was the right hand, landed it clean. Feinting's beautiful from Golovkin there. That was a beautiful feint. Just watch these little subtle feints from Golovkin. He always feints before he goes with the real shot. He always feints before he goes with the real shot. And watch, Murata's against the ropes. Watch Golovkin. See, he keeps him at arm's range. Doesn't smother his work. Yeah? You see that? Murata against the ropes. He throws that probing jab. He measures the distance. And then he's like, right. He sets himself up to punch through the target. But he doesn't overcommit and smother his work. Looking at the replay again on the zone. Golovkin there. Let's just have a look here. Just trying to see some of these works. The feints are very interesting if you watch. The way Golovkin sets up his shots are just extraordinary. One of the best ever. There you go. You see him double jab and you see him throw the right hand right through the guard. That was one little feint that he showed on the replay. The little double jab. You see that double jab from Golovkin? There was nothing on it. You see that little double jab from Golovkin? There was nothing on that double jab. It was just probing. It was just disguising. That's what we talk about, setting up shots. See that? That's why Golovkin's very economical. Yeah? Touch, bosh. Then he goes through. All these other fighters that are in British boxing, these fucking Anthony Joshuas, they don't know how to do that. If you watch any Anthony Joshua fight, these kind of guys, they don't understand how to do this. These are meat and two-veg fighters. These guys are jab with power, right hand with power. Murata's taking a big right hand. There's something going on. He doesn't even know. There's something going on with that left eye. I'm convinced. I'm convinced Murata right uppercut. He can't see these shots coming. I'm convinced there's something going on with Murata's right eye, with Murata's left eye. Let's have a look. There's something going on. His forehead is destroyed. If you look at his forehead just above his nose, they're going to have to stop this fight. There's no way this can continue. If you look at Murata, not only has he maybe got a broken nose, but if you just look at the forehead, just in between the eyebrows, it's destroyed. He's got a huge amount of swelling just in between the eyes. Golovkin again with that left hook. Golovkin again with that left hook. Jab, right hand lands flush from Gennady Golvkin. Backs him up onto the ropes again. Double jabs him onto the ropes. What shot would he set up? Right hand over the top, right through the guard. Murata's opened his mouth on some of these shots. Oh, it was a huge left hook from Golovkin. This one has got to be stopped. Right hand over the top. I don't understand how on earth. Right uppercut from Golovkin and this fight is finished. Right uppercut from Golovkin and this fight is absolutely done. There'll be a highlight reel knockout. The right uppercut is there for Golovkin. He keeps throwing the left hook around the guard, but the right uppercut is right there for him. But Golovkin is just picking these shots. He's a monster. I mean, he's just picking these shots. Golovkin's pushing him back again. All right, Murata's got his way back to the set. This fight, honestly, he's opening his mouth on some of these shots. Some of these shots are landing on Murata, and he's opening his mouth after them. I don't know if he's in pain or something, but there's something going on the left side of his head because he's definitely not. He's not seeing any of these right hands coming. And he had problems seeing where he was going back to the corner and the round before. Joe, we're in round 9. Golovkin is just pulverizing this man. And look, I thought this guy was going to get Golovkin out of there. Golovkin's legs, someone's given Golovkin juvie juice because all of a sudden, but again, a lot of that is because the sharpness of the shots is not there from Murata. And you can see now how sluggish Murata is with his right hand. Massive right hand from Golovkin. Murata's on the floor. They're going to have to throw it out. Did you see the way Murata reacted to that right hand? It's like he couldn't even see out of his left side. Yeah, they threw the towel in. There's something going on. Like, he can't see properly. I'm telling you, the way he's wincing off them right hands, that was absolutely brutal from Gennady Golvkin. That was absolutely brutal. I mean, make no mistake about it. That was brutal. That was absolutely brutal. That was brutal to watch. I want to see what's going on with the left side of Murata. That was brutal. I think Murata's going to have some serious fucking problems, you know, after this fight. They need to get that man to a doctor ASAP because the way he was responding to them right hands, and it wasn't even this round, it was like 2 or 3 rounds ago. It was 2 or 3 rounds ago. If you look at him, it's like he can't see out of his left eye. He can't see properly out of his left eye. Can you guys see that? He can't see out of his left eye. There you go. You can see his left eye's fucked up. See, he's winking and blinking it. I told you. There's something going on. Maybe we've got another orbital fracture. Or maybe we've got a serious eye injury. Because if you look, I spotted it about 2 or 3 rounds ago. He couldn't see properly on his way back to the corner, and he started bumping into the ropes, and you could see his left eye was behaving really funny. He couldn't see out of it. His left eye is fucked. You can see Murata's left eye is absolutely fucked. The way he's blinking it, it's almost like it's crossed up. We could have, maybe we've got another eye socket injury, orbital injury going on there. And you could see that. I saw that 2 or 3 rounds ago. I said, if you look at the way Murata's gone back to the corner, there's something wrong going on. Because he couldn't see out of his left eye coming back to the corner. He couldn't see the way he was like blinking. You know, like you have something in your eye and you keep trying to adjust it, trying to get your focus back. It's like he kept trying to adjust his eye. And then the rounds after that, he could not see the right hands coming. He couldn't see them. And let me tell you something about Gennady Golvkin. He's a one fighter. Think about it. You've got a left eye injury, you've got a left eye problem, and you can't see out of your left eye. You've got a problem with your left eye. Don't forget, when Golovkin's throwing these right hands, Golovkin doesn't throw them straight. Do you know what I'm saying? Golovkin's whipping them around the guard. Golovkin's bringing these shots out. You can't see them. He brings them out from out your vision. Because the way he loops that left is the way Golovkin loops the shots. Does that make sense? He doesn't throw them straight. So they're not coming straight through your field of vision. So you've got a damaged left eye, but then Golovkin's hooking and he's bringing the shots out of range and whipping them around the guard. You can't see them. I mean, the Golovkin's, he's a finished fighter to me. If he fights Canelo Alvarez, he'll get stopped. But I will say something, and I'm going to say this one more time. For any young fighters that want to understand about the following: jabbing, punch placement, feinting, setting up punches, inside fighting, not smothering your work on the inside. He's one of the very, very best in the game you can ever watch. You know? And I to be honest, I've always been the kind of fighter that likes slick fighters. I've never really been a fan of fighters like Golovkin. I've always been a fighter that likes Mayweather, Roy Jones, James Toney, Bernard Hopkins, those kind of fighters. You know, I've always been that kind of guy. But Golovkin, when you get past the punch power, he is a technician. Make no mistake. There are very, very few fighters in the game today that pick punches like Golovkin. Can you see the way he's looping them fucking right hands around the guard? Looping the way he varies. You know what he was doing tonight as well? You know that overhand right that he throws? And he throws it down. I'll call it the axe handle. The axe handle overhand right. The one that comes right over the top of your forehead. He was doing that with the left hand as well. He's just a phenomenal fighter. Phenomenal fighter. And And also, GP Poker, his balance is phenomenal as well. I agree with you. His balance is phenomenal. Like, he is a phenomenal fighter, you know. He's a finished fighter. He's a phenomenal fighter and he's a finished fighter, but he's still amazing to watch, you know. Because he's slowed down as well. It's also nice for someone like me because Golovkin has slowed down over the year. He's slowed down. He significantly slowed down. The foot speed's not the same. The punch speed isn't the same. Because Golovkin has slowed down significantly, you can still see the technique a little bit slower. Makes it easy for us to pick out. But he's a phenomenal fighter. But he's never beaten Canelo in a million years. I mean, that is a walking stoppage waiting to happen. That is a walking stoppage waiting to happen. So it is what it is. I mean, that is a walking stoppage. Richard from Twitter says they just showed that reaction again. Looks bad. His left eye was absolutely destroyed. Sorry, let me just change this background. Sorry, I can't find out where it is. 1 second. Sorry about that, boys. Yeah. Let's go over here. Golovkin, man. This dude he's a monster. You know what? In the beginning of that round, I genuinely thought he was going to get stopped. After 2 rounds of this fight, I thought Golovkin's going to get stopped. He looked so uncomfortable with the shots he was taking to the body, the shots he was taking around. What's this? Reckon Billy Joe has a chance against GGG? No, I think GGG would put Billy Joe Saunders in his grave. Are you crazy? Canelo would murder Billy Joe, but we're talking about Canelo. Golovkin would put Billy Joe in a fucking graveyard, man. There's no way on this planet. Canelo would put Billy Joe Saunders in his graveyard. Absolutely no way on this planet. You know what the thing about Billy Joe is? Golovkin would work him out very quickly. Do you see when Billy Joe fought Canelo? How Canelo realised that every time Canelo threw the right hand over the top, yeah, Billy Joe Saunders does what I do and I get in trouble for, right? Every time Canelo threw the right hand at Billy Joe kept, see how Billy Joe kept trying to roll it to his left-hand side, which is correct, yeah? Billy Joe kept trying to roll underneath it to his left-hand side. So Canelo turned it into a right uppercut. And then he caught him in the middle of a roll. Does that make sense? And that was the end of it. Golovkin will do the same thing. Golovkin's is a very, very clever fighter, a smart fighter. That was a very clever adjustment that Golovkin made. You could see that every time he threw the right hand, Billy Joe was trying to slip it and roll it to the outside, yeah, and trying to roll underneath it. And then roll underneath it and spin back to the center of the ring. So instead of throwing the straight right, Canelo started turning it into an uppercut. But Golovkin is my opinion, just as smart as Canelo when it comes to picking shots and placing shots. He's incredibly smart. And he'll find the same patterns. He'll see that when he throws the right hand, Billy Joe's always ducking to his right. He'll see that. You'll see Billy Joe's trying to duck it and slip it to the right. He'll adjust. He'll make the same adjustments. And when he starts landing, that's the end of it. Forget about it. Billy Joe will get killed in a fight with Golovkin. Let me get you this picture of Gennady Golvkin. Post-fight. Golovkin now currently doing his post-fight interview. There's Gennady Golvkin doing his post-fight interview. I tell you what, listen. Don't know what you guys think about Golovkin. What would you give Golovkin out of 10 for that performance tonight? Do you know what? Even though Golovkin's a finished fighter, I'm going to give Golovkin a 7.5 because I just thought he showed a lot of grit because early on, that fight looked like bad news. He looked hurt in there, to be honest, to me. Golovkin looked hurt in the first 2 rounds. The body shots were hurting him. It looks like his legs are gone. He was being hit with right hand after right hand after right hand. It looked bad. It looked real bad. And then I think it was the beginning of round 3 or 4. He came out and he hit Murata with one jab. And I don't know if it was that beginning of that round 4. He hit with a barrage of punches. And it was a variation of jabs and I think left uppercuts, jabs or right uppercuts he was nailing with. And after it was that opening barrage, Murata was never the same again. And then he started to implement that left hook. That short left hook around the guard, started doubling up and then hooking off and then doubling up on that left hook off that jab. Jab, feint the jab, and he was really left hand variation, beautiful. Jab, feint, bring that left hand around. Double up on that left hand around. And maybe that's the reason why Ryan Murata started to put away that right hand, because he definitely started to put that right hand away after about round 4, round 5. You definitely see Murata start to put the right hand away a lot less. A lot more. Like he really started putting that right hand away a lot more. And I wonder if that's because the left hook of Golovkin was just destroying him on that side. Maybe that's what it was. You know? Maybe it was the left hook of Golovkin was destroying him on that side. Destroying him. And so he didn't want to throw the right hand. He didn't feel comfortable throwing the right hand anymore. Unbelievable. Your scores today. Golovkin. Boxing King's giving Golovkin a 7 out of 10. Crazy's giving him a 7 out of 10. MJ's giving him a 7 out of 10. Harvey Chan's giving him an 8 out of 10. I just thought Golovkin, I think he showed a bit of greatness to be. Do you know what? To be honest, I think Golovkin showed greatness in the second fight with Canelo Alvarez because I thought that going into the championship rounds, he was losing the fight with Canelo. But I thought, this is my opinion, I thought Golovkin did enough to beat Canelo in the championship rounds. That's my opinion. I thought Golovkin rounds, I think 9-12 or something, or 10-12, you know, really, really gutted it out against Canelo, and he showed championship heart. And I thought he did enough to beat Canelo based on what he did in them last 3-4 rounds. That's my opinion. But, you know, Golovkin is definitely an all-time great fighter, and he showed, you know, we've seen a lot of fighters in those circumstances get beaten and get loose. Get your comments in. We've got 71 people in the chat. The chat's starting to grow a little bit here. It's only, it's not even 2 o'clock here in the UK on a Sunday afternoon. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button if you would like to. Get your comments in. We'll be staying here for a little bit. We're not just covering the Golovkin fight. We'll be, oh my God, 28 likes. Please hit the like button. 72 people in the chat, 28 likes here. We're not exactly in prime time, but hit the like button. I hope you enjoyed the live commentary. We're talking about Golovkin, Canelo, Dillian White, Anthony Joshua, and Usyk shortly. Just trying to get this to DAZN broadcast back up again, because my DAZN broadcast is gone. Ryan Murata is currently in the ring. Yo King agrees with me. He says, yes, the GGG left hook cut that active right hand down. It's interesting, isn't it? I mean, Ryan Murata just all of a sudden, that right hand, but Golovkin really did. He was throwing that left hook relentlessly, doubling up on it and all sorts. Unbelievable. Joe says, Triple G is what happens when you give a technically elite fighter Carl Froch's chin. Just think he's a phenomenal fighter. Who do you think would have won, Carl Froch or GGG? I would go with Triple G all day long. I think Triple G had so much better fundamentals than Carl Froch. Carl Froch, let's be honest, was a tough guy. But I think Carl Froch would have problems with the Triple G jab alone. I would have gone with Triple G, possibly on points. But I would have thought Triple G on points. I think Triple G would have given Carl Froch a bit of a beating, to be honest. That's my opinion. I'm not sure he would have got Froch out of there, but I think Triple G would have put a bit of a beating on Froch, to be honest. Froch isn't technically good enough to hang with Triple G, to be honest. And GGG ain't no George Groves. And we see how George Groves bust up Carl Froch and hurt him multiple times in their fights. GGG ain't no damn George Groves. You know what I mean? So I would have gone with Triple G. Abso-fucking-lutely. Different breed of fighter and a different level of fighter. Let's have a look at some of these comments on Benson's page. Canelo will destroy him based on that. GGG is the definition of washed. We don't want to see him get destroyed by Canelo. Give us Canelo versus Beterbiev next. Oh, you know what? Look, Canelo will definitely get him out of there if they fight, 100%. Let's have a look. But he's still a great fighter, though. 40 years old, and look, he's unified the titles, and he's put on a great. This guy's one of the. Anyway, let's have a look. Let's read his comment. I love GGG, but this is not the same fighter. And I hope the people around him are telling him not to fight Canelo. Canelo would stop him to the body within 5 rounds. I don't want to see him go out like... I'm not sure about 5 rounds. We'll see. Yes, he did. GGG did break Groves' ribs in sparring. This is all true. I know because obviously I was in the same gym as George Groves. I've only met him once, but obviously, you know, you guys know I was in the same gym as George Groves for a little while, and that's why I have a pair of signed boots by him, which I think I've nearly thrown away. But yeah, I have a pair of signed boots by George Groves for that reason. Let's have a look here. Roy Tabori says, seems like Murata came out extra hot as well. GGG paced himself and saved more shots for the mid rounds. He looked in big trouble in them first 2, I have to be honest. But like I said before, I think for me, I'll say it now. For me with Golovkin, what set him apart in this fight is just 2 things, right? The defense was terrible. I think we can all see from today's performance that a lot of his defense comes from his offense. Defensively, he looks like a completely different fighter, right? Defensively, he looks like a completely different fighter when he's in the center of the ring, when he's controlling the pace, when he's got the opponent at the end of the shots, and when he's controlling the rhythm. He looks like a completely different fighter. You know, you see him in the end in round 9, round 10, and all of a sudden, obviously the right hands don't have as much steam on them anymore, but he's now using his footwork to just take a step back, avoid the right hands, and then he brings himself back into range and carries on with the offense. He wasn't able to do that in the opening rounds. So I think we can see that a lot of Golovkin's defense comes from his offense, to be honest. So defensively, I have to be honest with you, I don't think it was a very, very good performance from Gennady Golvkin. He was hit by the same punch 150 times in that opening round. You know, in that opening round. Wasn't able to get his head off the line of that right hand at all. And getting him with someone like Canelo, he's going to get his lights put out. There's no question about it. I mean, He's going to get his lights put out if he gets him with Canelo. He's going to get his lights put out. You can't be hit with right hands like that, in my opinion. And I was looking for Golovkin, like I said, to take your head off the line or bring that left hand up higher or do something. And you just go and see it on the replay in the first 2 rounds. Murata was just whipping that right hand around the guard, bringing the right hand through the guard. Golovkin had no answer for that right hand. He had no feet. He didn't have the feet to bring himself in and out of range. And he didn't have that head movement. He didn't have the ability to dip his head to the outside, dip his head just over to the left and make Murata miss that right hand. He left his head on the center line for about 4 or 5 rounds. And he never really changed that. He never really changed that. The difference was his punch placement and his punch selection and his punch power. He still has power, but it's the placement and the selection that goes with it. That's what turned around this fight for me. It was the selection. You have to understand, most fighters like Murata, who walk around in a high guard like that, right? A lot of those shots wouldn't land. A lot of those shots against another fighter today, Murata would have caught those shots on gloves and caught those shots on elbows. But because Golovkin is such a master at gaps, Golovkin's a master at, okay, so you're coming in with the high guard. So what I'll do with this hook then is I'm going to bring this hook, I'm going to whip it, and I'm going to loop it. I'm going to loop this hook so this hook lands right behind the glove, just in between your ear and jaw. Yeah? And those kind of things. And it's also then to add on to that, the way he sets up the shots. You see, Golovkin tonight was punishing him with the left hook, doubling up with the left hook, doubling up with the left hook. Then what does he do? He feints the jab, feints the left hand, and then he brings the overhand right into the game. And then after he's finished battering this guy with the overhand right, what does he do? There must have been a round where he started landing right hand after right hand after right hand. What does he do? He then does this. Double jab, he feints the right hand, and then he comes back across with the left hook. I mean, the way he sets shots, the way he feints shots, the power and the placement, it's all 3 of those things is the reason why he won the fight tonight. Power, placement, selection, and the feinting, the way he sets up. Again, honest to God, yeah, and I'll say this one last time. Go back and just watch the highlights. Don't even watch the fight. Whenever you see Golovkin, yeah, in fact, let's just do this. Look, let's just see if we can get a non-DAZN Golovkin fight up. 1 second. I'll show you one of my favorites. Let's see if we can do something like this. Hold on. Just show you Golovkin. He's very technically good. Very, very technically good fighter. Not defensively. I mean offensively. Defensively, no. Technically, he's not good defensively. But offensively, it's a yes. I wonder if we can get him sparring or something, if that's be easier. Because there's loads of footage of him sparring. Oh, we'll get it in a minute. One sec. Let's have a look at this sparring video. Here you go. Let's see what happens when he gets on the inside. See what I like about Golovkin? Look. Watch when he gets to the inside. Right? Can you see this? Let me just make sure you can see this. Oh, sorry. It's not even on the thing. 1 second. Let me bring it across. 1 sec. Sorry. Sorry, guys. It's been a long day. The washing machine is working now, which is good. So I managed to help fix that. All right. Look. If you look at Golovkin here when he closes distance, watch this. Here's what I like with Golovkin. This is just a bit of sparring. I like that little touch. As soon as he gets him into the corner, I like that little touch. Throws that touch. Doesn't smother his work. I'm guessing, I could be wrong, but I'm guessing he throws that touch as a probe to get the distance, yeah? So he throws a touch. Okay, where am I? And if you see just a short thing, but he doesn't overcommit. Look, he throws a touch, holds his feet, and then he goes through with a shot. And he's punching right through the target. Does that make sense? Germany fighters smother their work. Germany fighters would take another step in. There are a lot of fighters, particularly in beginner boxing. If you go to a boxing gym and you see beginner boxing, right? See when they were here, they probably take another 2 or 3 steps in. You see what I'm saying? They were taking another 2 or 3 steps. But the way he measures his work and he keeps, and he has them right at punching range. You see there, again, when he backed him up, he probes. Backing him up. What does he do? Touch, 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 touch. Yeah? Sets his distance. Let's see if he overcommits. Yeah, he did overcommit there. He got right up on the inside. But look, there you go. He's got right on the end of the shots. but he does leave his head on the centre line a lot. Very, very clever fighter. Mr. Anderson says, the only conversation I want to hear Golovkin in now is whether he would have beaten Hagler. Great fighter who should retire at the top, where Golovkin would have beaten Hagler. Honestly, I haven't seen enough of Marvin Hagler really to make that kind of thing. I would guess, my heart says Hagler, to be honest, but I haven't seen enough of Hagler to make a thing. I don't know, you know. Hagler was so ferocious. The thing about Hagler was just absolutely ferocious. The pace that he set in fights, punching either hand, could switch hit, both hands, punch equally, but he could punch in either hand. Ferocious pace. I don't know. Do you know what? My gut says Hagler, but I need to see more. I'm not really a boxing historian. I've seen some of these fights, but I've forgotten them. But I would, if I had to guess, just on pure hunch, I would go with Hagler. Possibly Hagler. Hagler on points or something. Hagler on points. I'm just guessing. Okay, Eubank Jr. What do you guys think? Do you think Christian? So based off tonight's performance from Golovkin, what do you think? Golovkin or Eubank? Let's do a poll for a laugh. And then maybe we'll... if you want to hit the like button, hit the like button. We haven't got too many people in here today, but that's cool. It is what it is. We're not exactly during prime time. It's a bit of an impromptu show. I will create a poll. If you want to vote on that poll, you can vote now. Based on this performance, Golovkin versus Eubank. Who wins? We all know Eubank's going to be fighting Kell Brook next. Jesus. I would go with Golovkin against Eubank based on this performance. To be honest, that's my opinion. I believe Golovkin would beat Chris Eubank Jr. on this performance. Chris Eubank Jr. has no jab whatsoever. He has no jab. I don't think he's going to be. I don't think he's going to be able to get past Eubank's jab. And we've seen what happens when we get a good jabber against Chris Eubank. Yeah, he gets beat in it every time, innit? Every time we see Chris Eubank in with someone who can actually jab him or out jab him, he gets beat pretty much, doesn't he? So I would go with Golovkin. I still think Golovkin's got one of the very best jabs in boxing. So I would go with Golovkin over Eubank. I don't think Eubank's all that at all. I don't think he ever was all that. And it is what it is. Nah. He won't do it. He won't do it. Eubank, you saw a little bit of it. Shall I tell you who would beat Eubank? What do you guys think about this? Shall I tell you who would fucking beat Eubank? Zach Parker. What do you think? What do you think about Zach Parker versus... I reckon Zach Parker would fucking beat him up. That's my opinion. I think Zach Parker would fucking beat Eubank up. Seriously. I don't think Eubank would beat Zach Parker. If that fight ever happened, I don't think Eubank would beat Zach Parker. Let me know what you think about that. Way too big for him. Way too big for him. Way too big for him. That's my opinion. But I could be wrong on that. But I honestly think Zach Parker would do a job on him. So I have to say I fancy Golovkin. Just checking my tweets here. Right. I think what we're going to do here. Yeah, I really do, Yoking. You don't have to agree. It's absolutely fine. I don't want people to just agree with me. But I really do think Parker is way too big for him. And like I said before, triangle theories don't work in boxing. But I think have a look at Marcus Morrison versus Eubank and then Zach Parker versus Marcus Morrison, the fight afterwards. I mean, I think the writing would be on the wall for Eubank there. The writing would be on the wall for Eubank. When you see Eubank versus Marcus Morrison with Roy Jones in his corner, and then you see like Zach Parker's fight afterwards against Marcus Morrison, you just see the difference in punching power between the two. And Zach Parker's a genuinely massive super middleweight. I think he would fucking batter Eubank. I really think that's a bad matchup for Eubank. I think that's a really, really, really bad matchup for Eubank. Zach Parker. I think Zach Parker would do a job on him. Because Eubank tries to be physical in the ring. That's his. He tries to make up for his lack of technique with physicality, but he can't get physical with Zach Parker. He won't be able to get physical with Zach Parker. I mean, you see how Liam Williams. How many rounds did Liam Williams win against Chris Eubank? Liam Williams is basically a 154 pounder. How many late rounds? Williams won like fucking 4 or 5 rounds in a row against Eubank. Zach Parker isn't even a super middleweight, really. Zach Parker's really a light heavyweight. I don't know. I think the writing would be on the wall. I agree with you, Craig. I think Parker's a light heavyweight masquerading as a super middle. That's my opinion. He's massive. He's massive. He's absolutely massive. I could be wrong on that. I would put good money on Eubank getting banged out. Right, let's move on. Talk about something a little bit different before we go. Excusez-moi. One sec. Let's cover a bit of news before we go. I have no idea what's happening to my live stream in a minute. 1 second. What's going on here? Let me just check something. I wonder if my... No, it's still going. Sorry about that. All right. Let's just talk about some other stuff. Let's go and talk about some boxing news. So Golovkin comes through. I thought that was a fantastic performance given the trouble that he was in earlier on. Clearly, he shouldn't be going anywhere near Canelo Alvarez because that's only going to end one way. But we'll have to wait and see what he can pull out. We'll have to wait and see what he says in the post-fight interviews, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. In the boxing news, Canelo Alvarez is going vegan for his fight with Dimitri Bivol. Oh my gosh, Diamante. We're not gonna do Diamante in 2017 right now because there's not enough people here. We're gonna wait until a primetime show. So when we next do a primetime show, maybe I think Riku's due to come in. Maybe myself and Riku will talk about that one. So I haven't forgotten about that. Thank you, Richard. I wanted to talk about Dillian White on Sporting Icons. Now, I haven't listened to it. I don't want to do a Sporting Icons bash fest because the guy gets bashed enough. To be honest, I mean, to be honest, the guy sneakily bashed me in the past on other channels. I think I've seen him go in other people's comment sections and sort of bash me a little bit. So it has happened. But it is what it is. I don't want to bash the guy. I think, like I said, the guy's got enough problems in his life without me bashing him. Do you know what I mean? But what I would say is this. I think it's relevant. So I'm not bringing it up for YouTube beef. I'm just bringing it up purely on the basis of boxing news. But Dean White has done an interview with Sporting Icons. Now, I haven't watched it for obvious reasons. Has anybody watched it? And has anybody got... does anybody know of anything interesting that was said in that interview? I haven't watched it. I thought, I'm not going to watch it because, it is what it is. We'll have a quick look at the comments for it. I haven't watched it. I heard Dean White was talking nonsense, and I've heard this is why I've heard about the interview. Like I said, I'm not going to do a Sporting Icons bash fest because I don't think that's fair really to bash the guy. He's entitled to his opinion. I'm just talking about the interview. So Dean White did an interview with Sporting Icons. I haven't listened to it. All I heard was that there were certain questions that weren't asked. So he never asked Dean White about what was it we need to ask Dean White about? Hold on. Oh my God, there was one question that people were saying. That was it, the arbitration. That's right. He never asked them about the arbitration. I was quite disappointed to hear that because he's been telling people, hasn't he, that there's this big arbitration case, isn't he? He's been telling people there's this big arbitration case. I think he told everybody there was an arbitration coming at the end of March. And the thing is, we've been saying now for the last 3-4 months, where is any evidence of Dillian White arbitration? There is absolutely no evidence anywhere that Dillian White has arbitration with the WBC regarding his purse split. We can go on CAS and we can find the arbitration for making Tyson Fury the champion in recess and making Dillian White the full champion. Obviously, we've gone past that now because Dillian White's been made the mandatory and he's fighting Tyson Fury. So we know there's an arbitration case for that because we can find that case online and we can see that case online. We can go and visit it right now on the CAS website. So we know there was arbitration between Dillian and the WBC, about Dillian White, becoming the champion, the full champion, Tyson Fury becoming the champion in recess. And that kind of thing was happening around the time that Dillian was mandatory. Maybe that's the reason why the WBC said we can't make Dillian the mandatory because there's arbitration. Maybe it was because of that arbitration case for Dillian White seeking to make himself the full champion and Tyson Fury the champion in recess. But, he did ask him. Oh, okay. Respect to Sporting Icons. My bad. Sorry about that. Maybe I should listen to it. Icons did ask him. Dean said he didn't know what was going on. Okay, then shout out to Sporting Icons then. If he asked him about the arbitration, then shout out to Sporting Icons for that. Like I said before, I'm not really interested in all the YouTube beef. I'm not going to start bashing people like that. You know what I mean? Pointless, isn't it? There's enough of that bashing that goes on YouTube at the minute. Yeah, come fight me. Yeah, let's have a spar. Let's have a charity spar. I'll see you. And do you know what? I haven't seen one fight yet. Have you noticed that on YouTube? I've not seen one fight. I've seen fucking 150 videos about fighting. I've not seen one actual fight yet. I've not seen one. I've seen a bunch of videos about fighting, but I haven't actually seen one fight yet. But yeah, okay. So if he's asked him that, then respect to Sporting Icons if he asked him about the arbitration. Because it doesn't exist, does it? The magical arbitration obviously doesn't exist. But like I said before, we're going to see if Dillian White wins this fight, because if he doesn't win this fight, then I think that we're going to have to look back on this and start asking some more questions. But I'm not going to ask any more questions until the outcome of the fight, because if Dillian wins the fight, then all of this is going to be forgotten. But if he doesn't win the fight, then I might have to do a couple of videos talking about certain things that have been disappearing. I do think, yeah, there are some questions that need to be asked, because there's a lot of interesting things in the world of Dillian White that are quite interesting. Right, so tell me about this Sporting Icons Dean White thing. Was it good? Was it not good? Listen, Sporting Icons, even though he shows me no respect, which is fine. Listen, respect for asking Dean White about the arbitration. You gotta respect that. It is what it is. Right, let's have a look. All right, no update on the arbitration. It sounds like it was rejected. What arbitration was that? What's the case? Where is it? That's what I would have asked. Where's the case number? And then I would have shown Dean White the case on CAS. And then I said, how come we can't find any? Listen, there's no evidence that a case was ever logged with the WBC regarding the purse split. That's what people need to understand. Listen, the game that's being played here. Richard, can you do me a favor? Because I'm terrible on CAS. Richard, can you just link us to the original arbitration case? What's going on here is the following, right? I'll tell you what's going on. People are trying to confuse you, right? There was an original arbitration case. But as far as I'm aware, it has nothing to do with the purse split, right? They are having you believe that they filed another arbitration with the WBC regarding the 80-20 split. What I'm saying is there is no evidence that that arbitration case was ever filed. That makes sense. There was a previous arbitration case about something else. But then a claim was made that Dillian's going to arbitrate about the 80-20 purse split. And then the 80-20 purse split could get reversed. And then Frank Warren might have to pay Dillian White more money, or the WBC might owe Dillian White more money because of the arbitration. Do you remember that whole thing, yeah? There is no evidence of any arbitration between Dillian White and the WBC involving purse splits anywhere. Right? Simple. Right? That's simple. No evidence anywhere. If there is some, please send it to me. I would like to see it. Simple as that. There is no evidence. There is no evidence. There you go. Let's have a look here. Right, let's go have a look here at some comments here. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, shout out to Sporting Icons. He did ask Dean White about the arbitration. Sounds like Dean would make a better lawyer than Dillian's current one. Let's have a look at some of these comments here. Blah, blah, blah. Right, here's another comment as well. Here's another comment that I would have asked Dean White. Here's another comment. Look, it comes down to this. Look, here's the comment on YouTube. The problem is this. The problem is this matter is the chicken or the egg analogy. White not promoting this fight is 2 fingers up to Warren. Warren giving White 4 tickets is 2 fingers up to White. Blah blah blah. Next question. Why does Dillian White want tickets to a fight he doesn't want to promote? Because somebody asked that question. Just genuinely, like, there could be a legit answer, but does anybody kind of get that? Why would Dillian White want tickets to a fight that you don't want to promote? I don't understand. He's been offered 4 tickets or 6 tickets, right? Right? He's been offered 4 tickets. He can go. Dean can go. His missus can go. and someone else can go. I don't understand, like, why do you want tickets for a fight that you don't want to promote? I don't understand. Maybe there is a counter argument to that. Maybe there is a counter argument to that. But I don't understand. You don't want to promote the fight. You don't want Queensberry to use your pictures. You don't want ESPN to use your pictures. You're not promoting the fight on social media. You basically haven't even acknowledged that this fight is happening. So why do you want X amount of tickets for a fight that you're not willing to promote? How does that even make sense? You're not promoting the fight. You don't want the maximum amount of people to see this fight because you're not promoting it, right? You don't want the absolute maximum amount of people to tune in and watch this fight. You and your brother are hoping that the BT Sport pay-per-view numbers bomb. Your brother's on IFL TV saying that BT Sport pay-per-view numbers probably might not look too good. Your brother and you are doing everything you can to disrupt this event, right? For whatever reason, you're doing everything you can to disrupt the promotion and disrupt the event. So why do you want tickets to an event that you're trying to disrupt? How does that even make any fucking sense? How does that even make any fucking sense? I'm not promoting them. I'm not promoting this. I don't want nothing to do with this. You can't use my pictures. You can't use my pictures. Oh, I'm not turning up. I'm not promoting this event. I'm not doing nothing. Oh, by the way, can I have tickets? What the fuck? But how does that even make any sense? To me, maybe there's a good counter argument, but it just doesn't make sense. You know, it doesn't make sense. And like, these are like basic questions that I would ask Dillian White respectfully. I would say, why are you asking for tickets to a fight that you don't want to promote? Innit? Why do you want tickets to a fight that you don't even want to promote? I mean, these are like basic fucking GDE NVQ level 3 questions, aren't they? Like, I'm not fucking Inspector Cluedo. Did we ever have any black detectives in the game? Other than Inspector Todd. Which we've got black detectives. All right. R.I.P. Sidney Poitier, yeah? Look. R.I.P. Sidney Poitier. Let me get up this thing here. Hold on. It's not like I'm being Sidney Poitier, is it? By asking these questions, is it? Oh, fucking, excuse him, what? Is it? Oh, I know what it is. Sorry about that, guys. I left this stupid picture on. My bad. Sorry, guys. One sec. I'm having a bit of a nightmare today. Yeah, look. It's not like I'm being Sidney Poitier. Luther, there you go. Right, there you go. Look. Luther. Do you know what I mean? What the fuck, man? You don't need to be Idris Elba to figure out, yeah, that there's something quite wrong, yeah, with what Dean and Dillian are saying, isn't it? What's that, Dean? You want tickets to an event that you don't want to promote? Well, how does that make any fucking sense? This is like ABC 1, 2, 3 stuff. Do you know what I mean? I mean, Jesus Christ. But it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. Let's have a look. If he was Shaft. I don't think Shaft was Shaft the detective. Was he? You don't have to be Shaft to figure out these questions, innit? Do you know what I mean? One more time. If anybody can answer this, drop me a comment in the comment section, and that's fine. Maybe there is an answer. Like, I'm not saying I'm right. Maybe there is an answer to this question that I just don't understand. But I'm going to ask this question one more time. Why do you want tickets to a fight that you do not want to promote? Let's have a look. That's some more of these comments. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, this is a good one. 4 tickets each. One for Dean White, Dean Cambozos, Dean Bruno, and Lamar Scott. Yeah, well, we know no one's going to ask Dean about that, but it is what it is. I'm not going to listen to this. I'm not listening to it, but it's just interesting to view the comments on it. We'll see what happens. All right, we'll see what happens. So yeah, I mean, shout out to Sporting Icons. I'm not going to listen to it, but shout out to Sporting Icons, man, for getting Dean White on. And if anybody listens to that, let me know what Dean White was saying. Let me know what Dean White's been saying. Apparently, I did hear that he was saying that Dillian looks great in training. I've been hearing. I mean, people online have been saying Dillian looks great in training and all this kind of stuff. It is what it is. DW is giving me a $10.99 super chat. Do you think GGG has any chance against Canelo Alvarez?
Thank you, Sister Avanti. $10 coming on the Cash App. Thank you, sister. Next time, make it 20. But
no, I don't. To be honest, that's my answer. I don't think he has any chance. I think Canelo will get him out of there. Big points win all. Canelo would get him out of there. You probably see maybe it'll just be a couple of knockdowns, but I don't see how he can stand up to Canelo's artillery. To be honest, I think the writing's on the wall. Murata hit him up with them right hands, and Canelo is just a different human being, isn't he?
Thank you, Sister Avanti.
Sorry about that. So I think Canelo will probably Canelo will be playing the drums on Triple G's head. That's what I think. That's my prediction. Few people are asking me for my prediction. I think Canelo will play the drums on Triple G's head, just like this. There you go. That's what I think. That's what I think will happen if Canelo fights Triple G. Honestly, I think Canelo will play drums on his head. I'm just being real. I'm just being honest. But we're done talking about Triple G. We've talked about Triple G for the last hour. So we're not talking about Triple G no more. Don't ask me no questions. Just go back and watch the video. Someone said, is Triple G underappreciated? If you go back and listen to the video, you'll see me talk about exactly why Triple G is underappreciated from a technical standpoint. But I'm not going to go over that just again. Right now, I'm talking about Dean White, quickly. And then we're going to do AJ watch, and then we're all going to go home. But right now, I'm talking about Dean White. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. What else was said in this interview then? So we've got Dean White. What else are they moaning about? I'm trying to get this down here. So what is it that they want now? Before we move on to AJ watch, what is it that these dudes want? Let's get it down. Let's get this noted down. What do they want? Right, one. More tickets for a fight they don't want to promote, right? So that's one, yeah? What do these dudes want? They want more tickets for a fight that they don't want to promote. Right, let's make a list of what they want. Oh, yeah. They want escrow accounts, innit? What do they want? Escrow account. That's number 2, right? Money to be held in an escrow account, even though that is not in the contract. Okay, there's that. All right, that's number 2, right? What else do they want? That's number 2. There you go. Money to be held in an escrow account, even though that's not in the contract. That's right, they want private jets. Good one, Sabir. Number 3, they want private jets. Right? Dillian to be flown to press conference in private jet. Okay, cool. Right? What's the third one they want? What else do they want? I'm just trying to get this down. Get this down. I'm trying to now document what is it that these fucking guys want. What do they want? Trying to think, what is it they actually fucking want? Just trying to think what else was in there. Tickets, private jets, photographs, I guess. There you go. All right, let's get the photographs in. Right, number 4. Not allowed to use Dillian's photographs for promotion without Dillian's permission. All right. So I take it then, yeah? One sec. I take it if Frank Warren wanted to use this photo for the promotion, he wouldn't be allowed, yeah? Is that what that means, yeah? So if Frank Warren wanted to use this photo here, I take it he wouldn't be allowed to use this photo, yeah? Because they're not, is it not? Don't use Dillian's photographs without Dillian's permission, right? So that would include this photo here, yeah? Okay, cool. What else do they want? DW23, £1 million to attend the press conference. Is that true? Can somebody verify that? Did they ask for £1 million to attend the press conference? Can anybody confirm if that's true or not true? So far, we've got 4 tickets, escrow account, flown across in a private jet. Don't use photographs without Dillian's permission. What else are they asking for? £1 million to attend the press conference. I'm not sure about that. There's definitely other stuff. I know BT weren't allowed to film them. I know that one as well. Because if you listen to the chat with Jeffrey Benz, that was in as well. I'm putting that in. BT Sport not allowed to film Dillian without his consent. That's number 5. BT Sport not allowed to film Dillian. That's 5. What are all these fucking clauses, man? What are all these clauses like? It's just fucking ridiculous. I've never seen anything like it. In 20 plus years of watching boxing, probably 25 plus, I've never seen anything like it in my life. I've never seen anything like it. I have never seen anything. We had Mickey Elliott on this show, yeah? And Mickey Elliott once organised an event for Mike Tyson. And I think it was for Mike Tyson to go to the Middle East. I think Mickey Elliott was part of a group that was bringing Mike Tyson to Dubai. And they got the list of Mike Tyson's... Mike Tyson's... what Mike Tyson wanted in the hotel. And I think Mickey Elliott said that Mike Tyson... What did he want? What did he want in his hotel? He had to have like fresh pistachios or something. Like Mike Tyson had to have fresh pistachios or something else in his room at all times. There were certain things and bits and bobs that he had to have in his hotel room, and he had to have supplied around him for the whole time he was in, during his trip on Dubai. Like, you always hear these crazy riders and stuff like, Mariah Carey. When Mariah Carey's backstage, it's part of her contract that she needs cats to pet or something. Do you remember hearing that? Like, Mariah Carey, when she's backstage or something, she has to have, a series of cats that she can just pick up and pet at any one given time. Like, she's fucking crazy. But this Dillian White stuff, is right up there with that. It's right up there, some of these demands he's making. It is absolutely fucking unbelievable. All right, if no one's got any more, it's unbelievable, yeah. Look. Mariah Carey's list of demands. Hold on. She's the worst. List of demands. Here you go. And he's still as bad as Dillian Dillian. He's still as bad as Dean and Dillian. Here you go. Where the fuck is this shit? What? Fucking punks. Okay, magazine. Let's do this. We're scraping the bottom. All right, we'll do a couple more minutes and then we'll go, because I know you guys have got a dash. But I'm just trying to find out this list of outrageous demands. But these magazines are fucking garbage. Here we go. Can we actually find this or not? Here we go. Temperature in both rooms must be set to 75 degrees. There you go. That's Mariah Carey. Temperature in both rooms must be set to 75 degrees. Some other stuff. The fridge has to be stocked with 12 1-litre bottles of Fiji water, 3 bottles of Chardonnay, and 1 bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon, sorry. She also has to have 12 bottles of Coke and Diet Coke, 12 protein drinks, 12 ginger ale, and 12 Sprite. Joe Malone candles must be included in the dressing room. A cheese and fruit platter is also included as a fruit bowl, and a tea service for 4. Etc., etc. Dillian White acting like Mariah Carey on tour, isn't he? Dillian White. Dillian White acting like Mariah Carey on tour. Boxing King says Conor Benn undercard still hasn't been announced. That fight's next week. That fight's next week. Still ain't got no fucking undercard for that. TMT says, what about Joshua versus Usyk? All right. I've got a new AJ mem that I need to sort out. But until then, yeah, you'll have to make do with the old AJ mem. All right, let's do AJ watch.
Okay.
Right, it's now time for AJ Watch. Quickly before we dash off. So, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button if you can. That'd be fantastic. Please hit the like buttons. Right, Eddie Hearn and Matchroom are going to be soon in Saudi Arabia. Jesus, these guys do AJ matches in the Middle East so often, you might as well start having Matchroom Saudi Arabia. How long is it before we start seeing Matchroom Saudi Arabia? Well, they've got a Matchroom everywhere else, innit? They've got a Matchroom Spain, Matchroom Italy, Matchroom Japan. Have they got Matchroom Japan? I think they've got a Matchroom Guatemala. They got Matchroom they got a Matchroom brand in every fucking country. Why not do a Matchroom Saudi Arabia since these guys want to seem to fucking do all these AJ rematches and cash out in the desert? It is what it is. Right, so this fight is now happening July 23rd, potentially in Saudi Arabia. Now, let's have a look here at Saudi Arabia on Amnesty International. Let's see where they're holding one of the biggest fights, yeah, in recent memory. One of the biggest rematches, probably of all time. Let's have a look here. I'm trying to get a list here. Blah, 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 blah. This is just too long. But what I'm trying to get a list of is here is Saudi Arabia's human rights record. This is where Matchroom are taking the show to, man. Saudi Arabia. So if you like human rights abuses, this is the place to be. Let's have a look. Saudi Arabia is one of the most disempowering and unsafe countries from state abuse, according to new data published by some human rights or metrics organization. Let's have a look at this. Look. Saudi Arabia scored 2.4 out of 10 overall safety from the state. The second worst state behind Mexico of 36 countries where there were data. This is good stuff, isn't it? Let's have a look at this. Yo, this is where AJ and Usyk are going to, you know. We're going to see AJ and Usyk, yeah? They're going to Saudi Arabia. Let's one more time. Saudi Arabia scored 2.4 out of 10 overall on safety from the state. The second worst state behind Mexico out of 36 countries for which there was full data. This was as a result of a poor record on torture, execution, extrajudicial killing, disappearance, arbitrary arrest, and the death penalty. Yo, get Ebony Bridges on that undercard. Get Ebony Bridges on that undercard, innit? Because we know Eddie Hearn's all for women's rights, isn't he? We know Eddie Hearn's all about their women's rights. We know Eddie Hearn all about their women's rights. But why not, innit? I'm trying to get a funny image coming up soon. I'm trying to get an image of Anthony Joshua, but we'll see it in a minute. Anyway, let's have a look. Yeah, let's have a look. Regarding the use of the death penalty, HRMI noted that Saudi Arabia saw a marked improvement. This is good. Look, in 2019, they had a score of 1 when it came to the death penalty. Now they've got a score of 4.2. Yo, who's getting tickets to go to this? Regarding the use of the death penalty, HRMI noted that Saudi Arabia saw a marked improvement in its score from 1 in 2019 to 4.2. Yo, AJ better be careful around there, you know. You got to be careful around there, man. You got to be careful. Yo, can I ask you a question quickly as well? When were women allowed to drive in this country? Wasn't there a thing about women not being allowed to drive until like a couple of weeks ago? Here we go. It comes up straight away. Let's have a look. When were women allowed to drive in Saudi Arabia? Like last week. Here we go. Oh, it was 2019. This is good. This is good. This is where Matchroom are holding big pay-per-view events, yeah? This is good. Hold on. Let me just get something up on the background. Here we go. Let me just set the contrast. 1 second. Let me just set the contrast. You know what's coming anyway, because I always do the same jokes anyway. I'm running out of jokes. I do the same jokes all the time anyway. But you know, Gareth A. Davis called this woman, yeah? What did she call her? She called her the Muhammad Ali of women's boxing. So let's just get this up here. There we go. There it is. Looks better. There you go. Matchroom's new IBF, what is it? Fucking bantamweight champion. There she is. Get her on the undercard down in Saudi Arabia. Let's see how it goes, innit? Because you know Eddie Hearn's big on fucking women's rights, innit? Let's have a look here. Saudi Arabia granted women the right to drive 1 year ago. A historic move that cracked open a new window to new freedoms for women who have long lived under repressive laws. Lord Jesus Christ, man. They have got some fucking quality human rights record, don't they? Jesus Christ. Bro, that's fucking mad, you know. If you was a woman in Saudi Arabia in 2018, you weren't even allowed to drive a car. It's changing, though. Things are changing. It's changing, yeah. Get Anthony Bridges on that undercard. There's a joke. There's a really, really bad joke that I want to make, but I can't make it on here because you know what YouTube is like. You know what YouTube is like. What? Get Anthony Bridges on that undercard. There you go. I like to see it. It's going to be interesting, isn't it? When this Anthony Joshua versus Usyk fight gets announced in Saudi Arabia, we're going to see what happens. I think unfortunately Matchroom are going to catch a lot of heat for this. You know, they're going to catch a lot of heat for it. What do you guys think about that? With Saudi Arabia's human rights record, it's funny, isn't it? Because we can't hold events in Russia, obviously, for obvious reasons. Because at the moment, right, the Russians are like, you know, the big bogeyman, aren't they, right now, innit? For obvious reasons. So, you know, everybody's kind of going anti-Russian at the minute. You know, we can't buy from Russian shops. You know, we can't do this, we can't do that. We can't do anything with Russians. We're banning Russians from sport. We're taking Russians out of rankings. We're doing everything. But it's okay for us to hold big fucking mega pay-per-view events in fucking Saudi Arabia, where people are still getting executed all over the place, and women weren't even allowed to drive there up until like fucking 2 years ago. It's all right to generate millions of pounds in these countries. Oh my god, this second. Oh, I'm not reading this. Read the second paragraph, Ultra. It's a joke. All right, I'm only reading this on request. But behind the celebrations lay larger issues. Despite renewed freedoms on the road, in the years since the ban was ended, Saudi women remain subject to strict guardianship laws that prohibit them from making many basic decisions without the permission of a male relative. I think we need to stop right there. There you go. It was what it is. Yeah, let's ask. That'll be interesting to hear what happens when this main event gets announced in Saudi Arabia. It'd be interesting to see if there are any comments there about. Are there any comments there about, you know, is it right to hold these kind of events in Saudi Arabia or not and whatnot? But look, at the end of the day, look, to be fair to Eddie Hearn, he's promoter and he's going to make the most money he possibly can. I just find it quite funny, really, because you know sometimes Matchroom likes to take the moral high ground and stuff. Oh, by the way, before we go, can I ask you another question before we go? These NHS tickets, does anybody know what's happened to these NHS tickets? If anybody knows, can you let me know? Because, you know, we've spoken a lot about Dillian White arbitration, right? But what about these NHS tickets? I'm just trying to find out. So what's going on then? NHS free tickets. Let's get this up. Matchroom said they're going to give 200 free tickets for every Saturday night live show, right? When was this? This was March the 28th, 2020. Matchroom Boxing will donate 200 tickets per event at our Saturday fight night and pay-per-view shows to the brave frontline NHS heroes fighting the coronavirus pandemic. Right. The scheme will last for 12 months from when it is a safe. The scheme will last for 12 months, right, from when it is safe for boxing to resume, with tickets available for a stellar schedule of boxing that includes Anthony Joshua against Kubrat Pulev, Alexander against. Oh, okay. So to be fair to them, it's probably expired now, hasn't it? The tickets got lost on track and trace. Boxing Madness. I'm still waiting for my free NHS tickets. Do you know what? Who got these tickets? Where are the NHS staff members who got these tickets? Richard says, think they do them through a raffle for blue light card holders. Def didn't do what they said they would, but they actually did give away some tickets. Oh, fair enough. What does this mean, Richard, in blue light card holders? What does that mean? Just give us the inside scoop. Break it down for the stupid people like me. What did they actually do? Let me clarify if Matchroom ever gave away 200 free tickets for a year for every single fight night from that time. What does it say? Every single Saturday night fight night. The scheme will last for 12 months from when it is safe for boxing to resume. So for every single Saturday night fight night, yeah, and for all pay-per-views, did Matchroom give out 200 free tickets to NHS workers for every single one of those shows? Richard says a blue light card is a discount scheme that you get for being in the NHS. Boxing Madness says it's like for police, firemen, NHS just gives us a discount at loads of places. Right, okay, right. That's interesting. That's very, very, very interesting. It'd be nice if we can quantify. It's a shame we can't, but it would have been fantastic for us to quantify all of that process to have been held out transparently. So we could have actually seen if 200 tickets actually were given to NHS members over a 12-month period for every single pay-per-view and Saturday night fight night. Because I have my doubts, you know. I have my doubts. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not the only one who has doubts. There are people out there who are asking the same questions about these Matchroom 200 tickets for the NHS. They're big question marks over whether 200 tickets ever got sent out and whether they got sent out for every single event for a year, pay-per-view and Saturday night fight night. They're big question marks over whether Matchroom actually fulfilled their obligations. Unfortunately, there's no way of us kind of finding that out because it's not transparent. Although, you know what could happen? Since Eddie Hearn keeps getting asked the hard questions, because you know Coogan and that are always asking him the really difficult questions, maybe Coogan could ask him and say, Eddie, just looking at your website, you said for 12 months you're going to give out 200 free tickets every Saturday night, fight night and pay-per-view. Did you do that? Yes, I did. Okay. Well, since people are asking, how do we know you did that? Is there any kind of process or is there any kind of thing that we can see that you can show us to prove that 200 free tickets were handed out to the NHS like you promised? Right, but to be fair, Richard does know somebody who did get a ticket through the Matchroom NHS scheme. So in the interest of being semi-fair towards Matchroom, we will add that in. It does appear that some people have got tickets. I'd be interested to know if it's 200. Boxing King says, speaking of Coogan, he has 1 billion views. Yeah, he has 1 billion views, but have you seen James Helder? James Helder's been rinsing these dudes out on Twitter. He's had enough, hasn't he? James Helder. Who I always thought James Helder was the guy on IFL. I know people like Coogan and stuff, and that's fine. I know James Helder was a bit bland, but for me, James Helder in a lot of ways actually gave a lot of fighters a lot of opportunities. And James Helder again was a What I liked about James Holder was like he would go to the small hall shows, he would go to the gyms, and he would give lesser fighters a chance to shine. Whereas Coogan is the complete opposite. Coogan just want to chase an AJ, a fucking Eddie Hearn. Coogan just follow the big names around and then, does what he does. He does the whole, the old laughing shtick, the whole pally shtick. But James Holder gave a lot of opportunities and a lot of coverage to small hall fighters and, fighters that I know. Some of the fighters that have been, listen, there have been fighters that I've seen pop up on IFL TV that I've been on the gym with. Fighters that you guys have no idea, people who have no idea who these are. These guys have been fighting on small hall shows, or these guys don't have a lot of exposure. And I watched IFL TV years ago. One time I was going home from the boxing gym and I fucking checked my YouTube. And one of the guys from IFL TV was a guy who used to train in the gym just before I did my session. He was a good fighter, so he used to have a private session. And he used to have a private session with a very, very good coach. He had a private session with a coach who fought for a British title and who was a sparring partner for Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank. And he used to get one-on-one training from this guy. And I used to come in from my session. I used to hear this guy destroy the pads. This guy was a fucking animal. I used to hear this guy destroy the pads and do technical work. And then we used to do our session every day for a year. I used to come in and this guy was always in the gym. And then one day I was coming back home from boxing on a phone and I looked at my phone on IFL TV and he was on IFL TV. And of course, you get the idiots because most people who watch IFL TV don't know anything about boxing. So they just think, oh, this guy's a bum. Like, who's this guy? Who's this? These guys are clueless. I'm like, this guy's an animal, man. This guy is an animal. If you actually stood in the gym and heard the sound it makes when this guy hits the pads, this guy's a fucking machine, man. This guy's a legit machine. These people don't understand, like, the levels in boxing. Even guys that are fighting for Southern area titles are fucking animals. People don't get that, Even those that are fighting at Southern area level, they are animals compared to your average guy. Go in the gym and find out and see these guys hit the pads and see how hard these guys hit and see the strength and conditioning what these guys do. Even these dudes that are fighting for Southern area titles are no joke, man. The dudes on the internet are delusional. They look on the internet and go, oh, I could do that. Boxing, this is why I say it's important to box, because boxing's a funny sport where you can watch it on the TV and think, oh yeah, just throw a jab. I could do that. Yeah, just throw a jab. All he's got to do is jab more. When you get in, you realize very, very quickly, completely different sport. Right, we're going to go soon. Let me say a big thanks to Frank Warren and Queensby Promotions for sending me this weekend. I don't know if I'll be eating it this weekend, but this is a Waitrose #1 Côte de Boeuf. 30-day aged dry beef. This is one of the very, very, not the best. Waitrose has some very, very high-end stuff, actually. Waitrose has some very, very high-end stuff that you can only get by order. And we haven't got it yet. And the reason we haven't got it yet is because you have to order it a week in advance. And I'm too lazy to order my shopping a week in advance. I always do it at the absolute last minute. So I haven't got hold of it. Waitrose do some very exclusive things like tomahawk steaks and things that pork stuffed with apple stuffing. They do some very exclusive things that you can only get on the website, and they have to prepare it a week in advance. Very, very good stuff. But this is one of the very, very best things you can get in your standard Waitrose supermarket. Côte de Boeuf. Big shout out to Frank Warren and Queensby Promotions for sending me this. As I said before on Twitter, it pays to be on the Frank Warren payroll. That's what we call #payroll life. Yeah, that's what we call that. #payroll life. Let's have a look here. We'll talk about David Diamante when we have a few more people in. If you see the latest news on David Diamante, it's not very good, to be honest. It's not very good. The latest news on David Diamante is not very good reading. To be honest, can I be honest with you? And I'm going to say something now. Matcham should take David Diamante off TV, to be honest. I know they won't, but DAZN and Matcham should take David Diamante off TV, in my opinion. Because, well, he hasn't done anything wrong. David Diamante hasn't harmed anyone. So maybe they shouldn't. Maybe I'll take that back. David Diamante hasn't harmed anyone. But there's definitely question marks over what some of the stuff that this guy's coming out with. I definitely think he needs a break away from the sport. Let's leave it at that, right? I'm not saying David Diamante should be cancelled, but I definitely think David Diamante should take a break from the sport of boxing. Let's put it that way. I mean, the latest stuff is pretty bad. The latest stuff basically is that David Diamante it's not the first time. Apparently, according to the latest reports on the internet, allegedly, it's not the first time that David Diamante has said that he's been horrifically injured. And yeah, let me have a look. Let's just get it up now. We might as well. I didn't want to talk about it, but Diamante. I mean, let me have a look. In 2017. So some clever clogs. Here we go. Some clever clogs has found a quote from David Diamante in 2017. In 2017, it's alleged that David Diamante said that he had a life-threatening bike accident where he broke a load of bones and he said his arm was practically ripped off. But he made a miraculous recovery. David Diamante is quoted as saying that. Who did he say that to? Was that to the Brooklyn Nets, Richard? Was that to the Brooklyn Nets basketball team? There was some kind of article. I don't know if it was in a flyer for the Brooklyn Nets basketball team or there was something, but there was some kind of interview with David Diamante. And he claimed in 2017 he was in a life-threatening accident where his arm was practically hanging off or something. Sorry, 2016 was in San Francisco, my bad. But he's basically said he's been in a life-threatening accident before. So, yeah, read it. Make of that what you will. Some clever clocks has gone online and dug out Diamante. So it appears now that David Diamante has been in 2 life-threatening accidents in the last 5 years. And nobody can find any evidence to suggest that these life-threatening accidents have actually happened. Allegedly, that's what's being said at the moment on Twitter. So yeah, it's not looking great for David Diamante at the minute. I'm surprised he's still on the fucking air, to be honest. Seriously, like I'm surprised he's still on the air because when he got hurt, you have to understand. Like I'm not sure. I don't think people were sending money to him, but like, yeah. Let's just leave it at that. Look, I don't want anybody to get cancelled, and I'm not exactly holier than thou either. But it is what it is. Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, it was Next Daily. Yeah, Brooklyn. Yeah. So let's put it that way. Yeah, it was what it is. So there you go. You can see it on the screen. That's what's being asked about David Diamante at the minute. Two life-threatening bike accidents in the space of 5 years. The question people are asking online is, we need to see evidence of both of those. I won't say any more than that. Which of these would you get rid of? Full English, roast, curry, or pizza? For me, this is a no-brainer. Out of these 4, if you have to get rid of one and never eat it again, it's the pizza. Pizzas with a lot of cheese make me fucking sick to my stomach. That roast dinner looks absolutely delicious. I see a few idiots going, oh, that's not a roast dinner. All right, you couldn't cook a roast like that if your fucking life depended on it. But out of these, for me, I mean, that curry is disgusting. I don't know what curry that is. Look how much tomatoes in that curry. That's not a true British Indian takeaway curry. That looks like, look how much tomatoes in there. You're almost eating a spaghetti bolognese there, to be honest. But for me, I'd get rid of the pizza. I think pizza's cheap and overrated. Costs 40p to make. And then they charge you. And this is why, Pizza Express. We've got a Pizza Express not too far away from us. And I walked past it and I said, I cannot believe that in the year 2022, grown men are sitting in a Pizza Express. Why are you paying premium price for something that costs literally 50p to make? Why are you paying fucking £20 for something that costs 50p to make? You're not dealing with quality ingredients. Does that make sense? It's not like a good steak. When you're getting a quality ingredient or you're getting something that you can't get in other places elsewhere. Do you know what I mean? It's just pizza, isn't it? It's just a fucking dirty base with some dirty ingredients. The pizza costs like a pound to make and they're selling it onto you for like 20 quid. Pizza Express. Shadow Project says, I live in Italy now. Wow, can you speak fluent? Or can you speak it? That's great. I live in Italy now and they constantly bang on about pizza. I say how overrated and boring it is all the time. I will say this, look, foreign people, I have a lot of experience around foreign people. I've spent my whole life as a black person around foreign people. I've spent my whole life around foreign people. The childminder who looked after me for most of my life, or most of my early life, or when I was going to school. So I had a childminder that looked after me every day for about between 5 and 10 years. She was Dutch. Her husband was black, but Brazilian Portuguese. And so the family spoke both Dutch and they both spoke Portuguese. And so I've been around foreign people my whole life. Some of the women before Mrs. Ultra were also foreign. So yeah, I've got quite a lot of experience in the Champions League. Let's put it this way. And foreign people always go on about food. Like, they're obsessed with food. Like, foreign people, I don't want to be disrespectful, but people in continental Europe are obsessed with food. Like, they talk about food non-stop, 24/7. Like, non-stop. Like, sometimes I've had to tell them, like, can you shut the fuck up and literally stop? I've actually said, can you stop talking about food? They just will not stop talking about food. Non-stop. You know, they'll talk about what they're going to have for dinner, like fucking the day before. They'll talk about what they're going to have for dinner and shit. They're obsessed with it. They won't stop talking about it. They won't shut the fuck up about it. It's their relationship to food is completely different to British people. And Britain's caught on quite a lot, obviously. Like, British country now. Listen, the truth is, the food here is as good as pretty much anywhere, pound for pound, I would say. Like, you know, obviously, you know, you get your hot spots where the food's exceptional. But do you know what I mean? Like, on a supermarket level, we're not that far behind like other continental countries. It's not like it was in the 1970s, yeah, where, you know, British people were eating duck à l'orange made with fucking Robinson's orange juice. Do you know what I mean? Or, you know, everything was coated in fucking, like, British people were cooking with lard, and British people were eating like tins of spam and shit. Like, British cooking's come a long way, man. Not eating tins of corned beef and spam anymore, so it's come a long way. But the relationship between food and British people is not the same as the relationship between continental Europe and Britain. They take food so seriously, it's unbelievable. They really do take it seriously. Nah, seriously, honestly, listen, I go abroad quite frequently. Well, actually, before COVID, I used to go abroad quite a bit. But British food now is pretty much the same there. If you go to like a certain country supermarket, you go to Sainsbury's and Waitrose, there's pretty much no difference. I'll say this before I go. The one thing I've noticed when I go into continental Europe, the big difference I've noticed, right? And I'm not talking about Michelin star or restaurants. I'm just talking about general supermarket food, street food. The one thing I've noticed between continental Europe and Britain is the fish selection in this country is horrific. And that's because British people don't eat a lot of fish. The fish selection in this country is as bad as it gets. You can't get no fish over here. So, Yoking, yeah? Everybody knows that I'm a coconut, right? But even I like some tilapia every now and then. You can't get tilapia for ras in this country. Ras tilapia in this country. I'm going to go one place in this country that I can get tilapia from. You cannot get tilapia for nothing in this country. If you go into Sainsbury's, yeah? If you go into Sainsbury's, it's just what you get: haddock, cod. The fish selection is in this country needs outlawing. Do you know what I mean? It nearly makes a man want to join. It nearly makes a man want to rejoin the EU or something. It's that bad, you know. The fish selection is just that bad in this country. Hold on. One sec. Yeah, you don't get nothing. Cod. Let me see that fresh fish supermarket. It's embarrassing. They should be ashamed of themselves. Cod, haddock. The fuck, one piece of haddock. What's that yellow fish that they keep putting in English supermarkets? Is that smoked haddock? Every time you go in there, there's like this yellow fish. What the fuck is that? I don't want that shit. Do you know what I mean? Every time you go in British supermarket, what's that yellow fish that they got? What is it? What's that yellow fish that they got? Every time you go, look at this. Look, here we go. Crazy D3 says, I thought you were a sea bass man. Yeah, we get it every week from Waitrose, but it's not the same because when you get it delivered, it's not the same. It's not the same as when you pick it up fresh. I am very much a sea bass man. Very much a sea bass man. Let's have a quick look at this before we go. Yeah, smoked haddock. What the bumper plot is that? That yellow fish, man. Allow that stuff. What is that they want me to eat? Every time I'm walking out, what is what I want to eat? This yellow fish. What is that, man? What is that? Let's have a look at what they got here. Look. They got whole mackerel here. Can you see? They got the whole mackerel. Mackerel's nice. I do like mackerel. Mackerel is nice. I'm cheating here. I know that's monkfish. I'm gonna cheat, but that is monkfish, isn't it? That's monkfish at the bottom right-hand corner, isn't it? Monkfish. Look at this. Hold on. Let me just go to this photo one sec. There we go. Monkfish. That's monkfish, isn't it? Richard, you know. Oh, is that squid? I can see squid. That's squid. My bad. Oh, it's squid. Sorry, monkfish. That's squid. I only saw this, but I was like, that's monkfish. That's squid. So, look, this is like decent stuff, but it's not great, you know? Like, you've got the salmon. You've got the cod there. So, you've got the salmon there in the top left. You've got the top left, you've got salmon. Then you've got trout. Oh, it's monkfish tails at the top. I can see it by reading there. The monkfish is at the top left, just after the salmon. You've got some bumper claw haddock there, some salmon fillet. But what I'm saying is there's no selection. There's no selection. British supermarkets for fish are just like, they're a dead end, you feel me? They're a complete, utter dead end. I don't know what you feel about that. When you go to continental Europe, if you ever go, I'm talking about supermarket. See, this is the thing with Mr. Blessed. Mr. Blessed is back. Now, the good thing about Mr. Blessed, yeah, is he's got his spell check working. So that's the good thing about Mr. Blessed. He's got his spell check working. So I'm gonna give you a couple points for that. Because we all know what happened last week when you started typing, yeah? We all know what happened when you started typing last week. But this week you got the spell check working. So I'm giving you points for that. But what Mr. Blessed needs to get working now, he got the spell check working. Now he needs to get his e-holes working. Because he don't understand that we're talking about supermarkets. That's the comparison we're making. We're talking about supermarkets in continental Europe versus supermarkets in Britain. That's what we're talking about, Mr. Blessed. We're not talking about fish markets. Yeah? You understand? You understand? You understand, yeah? That's what we're talking about. Understand? Right. Yeah. Let's carry on here. So if you look at continental Europe supermarket, let me get you a picture of this now. Let me get you a picture of a supermarket, a fish market in continental Europe. Fish supermarket. Let's pick a country. Let's pick Italy for jokes. Oh, I can't find a supermarket. All right, let's pick France. Italy ain't showing nothing. France, supermarket, fish. Look. Let me show you now. You want to see what goes on in France now? You ready? Right, let's do a comparison. Hold on, here we go. Let me do a comparison now. Right. There you go. Can you see the difference, yeah? Between this. This is supermarket. Standard French supermarket. And they're only showing a corner. Look at this. Langoustine, lobster. This stuff, look at those crevettes at the top right-hand corner. This stuff comes as standard in European supermarkets. You know, like lobster in this country is a big deal. You know, like lobster is a big deal in this country. Oh, he's having lobster, bro. Lobster is standard, bro. If you go into just random supermarket in France, just pick up lobster. Lobster is standard, bro. Crab, that stuff is standard. I spoke to my mother-in-law. I asked my mother-in-law last night through my missus. I said, ask the mother-in-law what's going on for dinner. Crab salad with homemade pizza. This stuff is standard, bro. Crab, lobster, all the things that we think is like a big deal. Oh my God, they got lobster, bro. Pick that up from you go to France and pick that up from what they got, Carrefour Market or some supermarket down there. Pick it up. Standard fare, man. And thing is right. English Hound says all nick from UK waters. Absolutely, all nick from UK waters. That is true. That is true. All nick from UK waters. And you know me. You guys know I'm Brexit through and through. I actually didn't vote either way because I was Brexit, but I didn't think that they would allow. I thought they were going to do a. I thought the vote would be. You know what? I didn't think there was any way that Leave would be allowed to win. So I didn't even bother voting, to be honest. So I say I'm pro-Brexit, but I'm not really. But you see what I'm saying? I'm pro-Brexit. I'm not anti-Europe. I love Europe. Do you know what I mean? I love Europe. I used to go to a European country on quite a regular basis before COVID, right? But what I'm saying is, There's a big difference between Europe and the European Union. So for people who don't get the difference, there you go. Oh, Ultra says he likes he likes going to Europe, but he voted for Brexit. Yeah, because I love Europe. What I don't love is the European Union. Here you go. Here's another fish counter in a French supermarket. Let's have a look. What's this stuff? They got stuff in here that you've never seen before. To be honest, some of this fish looks poisonous. Look at this spotted fish there on the left. This stuff looks poisonous, boy. This stuff looks poisonous. Some of this, I'll be honest with you. I don't know what you think, Yo King, yeah? But see some of this red fish. I'm not eating that. I'm not eating no red fish. Why is fish red like that? That fish look poisonous. Look like, you know like them blowfishes, them poisonous blowfish. Hold on. And them poisonous blowfishes. I'm saying, look. Look like this stuff. You're not supposed to eat this shit, man. Shit like this, bro. You're not supposed to eat this stuff, man. Hey, is that red snapper, Richard? We should know that. That's down home. My dad used to cook that all the time. Snapper. Maybe because we had it filleted. That was the difference. Okay, cool. If that's snapper, I'm going for that. Snapper's wicked. That's like my favourite fish. Snapper, tilapia. I love that fish. I love it. But anyway, look at this stuff. Look at this. That's all I'm saying. So you see the difference, yeah? I'll show you one more picture. Look at this stuff. Look, just random stuff. Again, this is supermarkets. Now, obviously, we're in France again, and you know they have a thing for eating fucking whelks and cockles and snails and shit. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. All right, but nevertheless, again, that's what I'm saying. I think I can see. Is that crab legs or something? Am I right? I can see crab legs there. Can you see the crab legs in the bottom left? That's what I'm saying, man. So they need to sort out British supermarkets, man. British supermarkets are an absolute disgrace for fish, bro. They're a disgrace. British supermarkets for fish are disgusting. I'll tell you that now. And it doesn't matter what supermarket you go to. Waitrose, don't matter. The fish is still trash. The fish is still trash. All right. I will now leave you. I apologize for taking 2 hours of your time. And we shall see what happens. Peace out.